A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, At the Post by H.L. Gold.
When I come into the Blue Ribbon on 49th Street west of Broadway, I could tell right away nobody told Doc Hawkins about my misfortune. Doc, who ain't one really, writes a daily medical column for the Racing Form, and we're celebrating his being sprung from the alcoholic ward. He got one look at me, and he choked on a piece of gefilte fish.
What happened? What happened? Look at that. Clucker's become a character.
Now, lay off, Doc.
Look at that, a gray flannel suit, a black tie. Clucker, where is your purple and green check sports jacket? Where are your two-tone suede shoes? Why, you've become a character.
That was Zelda's idea. She wanted to make a gentleman out of him.
Wanted to? Why, you two kids got married just before they took, my stakes away. Don't tell me you've, split already?
You don't know, Doc?
No. What happened?
Well, it was right after you tried to take the warts off the fire hydrant that Zelda started hearing voices. It got real bad.
How bad?
Well, she's at Glendale Center upstate. I just came back from visiting her.
Well, did the psychiatrist give you a diagnosis?
Yeah, I got it memorized. Catatonia dementia precox.
Oh, rough. Very rough. The outlook is never good in such cases.
Maybe they can't help her, but I will.
Now, Clocker, you're a race handicapper. You run the best tip sheet on Broadway. But people are not horses. You've got to think of your public. For instance, what's good at Hialeah, huh? My bar bill is about to be foreclosed, and I can use a long shot.
Those couch artists don't know what's wrong with Zelda. I do.
You do?
Well, almost. I'm so close I can hear the finish line camera clicking.
Well, now, that's very interesting. Perhaps we can collaborate on an article for the Psychiatric Journal.
All right, look. Look at these shots. Look, here.
Huh?
I use the same system I used to dope the races. Look, Zelda's got catatonia. She used to be a hoofer before we got married, and now she does time steps all day.
Stereotype movements are typical of catatonia.
You don't get it. She does time steps. The first thing you learn in hoofing, over and over. 10 or 15 hours a day. And she keeps talking like she's giving lessons to some jerk kid who can't get it straight. And I hear when these catatonics pull out, they don't remember much or maybe nothing.
Protective amnesia.
They work harder and longer at what they're doing than they ever did when they were regular citizens. And they don't get a red cent for it.
I beg your pardon?
I said they were getting stiffed. Anybody who works that hard ought to get paid.
I don't understand what you're getting at.
What are they knocking themselves out for if it's for free? Doc, I tell you, I miss that mouse. I gotta save her. She can't see or hear us, but she can sure see or hear something. And I'm gonna dope her.
Parker, it's too much for you.
Too much for me, huh? Who was it said Warlock had turned into a dog in his third year? Who was it had 7 winners the opening day at Belmont? You take my word for it, Doc. I'll beat the schizophrenia handicap. I hadn't been paying much attention to my tip sheet while I was doping a catatonia dodge. At tell you I missed Zelda. I missed the bobby pins on the floor and the nylon stuck on a shower rack, the toothpaste tube squeezed from the top. I had to get her back somehow. Next day, I took a cab and went out to that place. I sat in the room and watched her dance. Oh, it was something. Because Zelda was worth watching, even with her eyes blank and her feet shuffling through that simple time step.
Mr. Locke, visiting time is almost up.
All right. Zelda. Listen, Zelda. How long can they take to learn a time step?
She can't hear you.
Look, kid, I don't know who these squares are that you're working for, but tell them if they take you, they got to take me, too. You hear? I had an idea now. I had it doped that Zelda was showing them how to dance, whoever they are. And the only way I could spring her was to find out who was controlling her and what they were after. The first step was to get them interested in me, and what I know about racing, doping horses. So I stood there next to Zelda, and I started to talk. Now, the first thing you got to figure is bloodlines. You take a horse, you got to know back maybe 4 or 5 generations on both sides. Then you got to know where the coat was full, what time of year, because all horses are 1 year old on the 1st of January. Then there's confirmation, training. You take a horse with good bloodlines, break him in a spring on a hard training surface track, and the first thing you know, you got a horse with a shin splint. Or they may cover it up, but if you know it's there. I once knew a horse ran in Hialeah who was scared of flamingos.
What are you doing?
Had a fine record at Gulfstream and Bowie. But when he got down to Hialeah and got one look at the flamingos, he wouldn't run for beans.
Mr. Locke, are you all right?
Shut up, I'm
Mr.
busy.
Locke.
You bet on a horse that's scared of flamingos at Hialeah, and you're going to come in with your tail between your legs. Kept coming back every day. I'd just sit there next to Zelda while she did a time step, and I'd talk about horses over and over. And then finally, I started to hear voices.
Clocker, this way, Clocker, come this way. This way, Clocker, come on now, come with me.
Like it was a fog, I could see the attendant in his white coat, asking me questions, and I couldn't hear him. I knew I just kept on talking about the horses. And then suddenly I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. I was in a big square, and the buildings looked like the new Roosevelt Raceway, all modern. Or maybe like the World's Fair. There were trees and statues, and there were hundreds of people standing around, and they all looked scared. There was a little man with bifocals and a vest with pins and needles in it standing next to me. He looked scared. But I knew it had worked. I was on my way to Zelda.
How did I get here? Excuse me, mister. How did I get here?
I don't know.
I can't take time for pleasure trips. I've got a customer coming in tomorrow for a fitting. She'll positively murder me if her dress isn't ready.
She can't murder you. Not anymore.
You mean we're dead?
Don't ask me, but I don't think you're dead. That much I can tell you. Some of the people in the crowd were complaining they had families to take care of, while others were worried about leaving their businesses. And they all grew quiet when a man climbed up on a big platform in front. He was a very tall and dignified guy, and he had formal clothes and a white beard like the chief mourner at a politician's funeral.
Ladies and gentlemen, please feel at ease. You are not in any danger. No harm will come to you. If you will listen carefully to this orientation lecture, you will know where you are and why.
What is it? I don't understand.
It's a pitch.
Friends, I know you are puzzled at all this. Now let me explain. You've been chosen, yes, carefully screened and selected, to help us in what is undoubtedly the greatest cause of all history. You will learn more about it as we work together in this vast and noble experiment.
What experiment? What is it?
I got it picked. This is a pitch. These guys are out for something. Smells like a con.
Let me state this in its simplest terms. Now, you know that there are billions of stars in the universe and that the stars have planets. A good many of these planets are inhabited. In almost all instances, the dominant form of life is quite different from yours. I am not of your planet or solar system. I am not formed as you see me. My true appearance would seem to be rather confusing to human eyes.
Nuts. Get to the point.
The truth is, we are not here, and neither are you. here is a projection of thought, a hypothetical point in space, a place that exists only by mental force. Actually, our bodies are on our own respective planets.
What's he saying? What does he mean?
Wait, he'll give us the convincer after the build-up.
Our civilization is considerably older than yours. For many of your centuries, we have explored the universe both physically and telepathically, and during this exploration, we discovered your planet. We tried to establish communication, but there were grave difficulties. And it was the time of your dark ages. And I'm sorry to report that those people we did make contact with were generally burned at the stake.
Here it comes. He's getting ready to slip us the sting.
Oh, I don't think you ought to say a thing like that about a fine, decent gentleman. He's obviously very sincere.
The problem we face is that the human race is doomed. The history of your race is a record of incessant wars, each more devastating than the last. And now, finally, man has chained the power of worldwide destruction. The next war, or the one after that, would unquestionably be the end not only of civilization, but of humanity, perhaps even of your entire planet. Then, why have we brought you here? Because man, in spite of his suicidal blunders, is a magnificent race. He must not vanish without leaving a complete record of his achievements. Now, this is the task we must work together on. Each of you has a skill, a talent, a special knowledge we need for the immense record we're compiling. Every area of human society must be covered. And so we need you urgently. Your data will become part of an imperishable social document that shall exist untold eons after mankind has vanished.
Oh, he had a slick con. He had that crowd in the palm of his hand like a small-time grifter selling pearl necklaces on 6th Avenue. They all cheered. They were all flattered to think that they were joining in this vast project to make a record of the human race. After a while, they broke us up into divisions, and I got herded into a building marked Sports and Rackets. They took my name and my occupation like I was applying for unemployment insurance.
Now, here's our problem, Mr. Locke. We're making two kinds of perpetual records. One is written, more precisely, microscribed. The other is a wonderfully exact duplicate of your cerebral pattern, in more durable material than brain matter, of course.
Of course.
The substance we use in place of brain cells absorbs memory quite slowly. But you'll be happy to know that the impression once made can never be lost or erased.
Delighted, tickled to pieces.
I knew you would be. Well, let's proceed, shall we? First, a basic description of horse racing.
I started telling them about horse racing, but they held me down to one sentence. They said I had to repeat it over and over so that recording thing could get it. They had a picture of my body back on Earth lying in a bed in a hospital just saying that one sentence over and over again.
Well, that's enough for today. Isn't it amazing? We have a more detailed record of human society than man himself ever had. Your life, my life, the life of this Zelda, whom you came here to rescue, all are trivial, for we must all die eventually. But the project will last eternally.
You telling me you know what I'm here for?
To secure the return of your wife. I would naturally be aware that you'd submitted yourself to our control voluntarily. It was in your file that was sent to me by admissions.
Then why did you let me in?
Because, my dear friend, we also...
Leave out the friend pitch. I'm here on business.
As you wish. We let you in, as you express it, because you have knowledge that we should include in our archives. We hoped you'd recognize the merit and scope of our undertaking. Most people do once they're told.
Zelda, too?
Oh, yes. Yes, Zelda's extremely cooperative, quite convinced. Would you like to see her?
Yeah, sure I would.
Well, that can be arranged. I'll call the Arts and Entertainment section and arrange a meeting.
Zelda, baby.
Clocker.
Let's get out of here.
Oh, hello, Clocker.
Aren't you glad to see me? I spent months and shot every dime I've got just to find you.
For sure I'm glad to see you, hon, but I can't waste any time. This work is so important.
I want to talk to you. That con artist with the white beard
Oh, isn't he wonderful, Clocker? Aren't they all wonderful? Regular scientists devoting their whole lives to this terrific cause.
What's so wonderful about that?
They could let the Earth go boom. It wouldn't mean a thing to them. Everybody wiped out, just like there never were any people. Not even as much record of us as the dinosaurs. Gee, wouldn't that make you feel simply awful?
I wouldn't feel a thing. All I'm worried about is us, baby. Who cares about the rest of the world doing a disappearing act?
I do, and so do they. They aren't selfish like some people I could mention.
Selfish? You're darn right I am. Zelda, listen. I'm selfish because I got a wife and I'm nuts about her and I want her back.
I have to help out on this project. It's the least I can do for history.
History? What did history ever do for us? Go turn in your time card, baby. Tell them you got a date with me back on Earth.
No, this is my job as much as theirs. More even. They don't keep anybody here against their will. I'm staying because I want to, Clocker.
But, honey...
Excuse me, I've got to get back. I'm teaching them the soft shoe now.
Are you satisfied now, Mr. Locke?
Listen, take away the doom push and this racket falls. Listen, suppose you're all square. Suppose you're leveling. You're knocking yourself out because your guess is we're going to commit suicide.
But is there any doubt of it? Do you honestly believe the Holocaust can be averted?
I think it can be stopped, yeah. Listen, between these catatonics and me, we could tell them what it's all about. I notice you got people from all over the world here. They get along fine because they have a job to do and don't have time to hate each other. Well, it could be like that back on Earth.
Mr. Locke, we have experimented in the manner you suggest, but a human psychological mechanism defeated us.
Yeah? What was that?
Protective amnesia. They completely and absolutely forgot everything they'd learned here.
Well, what are the odds on me remembering?
Well, you are our first volunteer.
Look, I'll give you a deal. You let me out, and maybe I'll be the first case that didn't get amnesia, and I can tell the world all about this. I'll come back if I lame out. You can pick me up any time you want. But if I make headway, you got to let Zelda go, too.
That's a very reasonable proposition. We'll lift our control, Mr. Locke, for a suitable time. If you can arouse a measurable opposition to racial suicide, measurable, mind you, then we agree to release your wife and revise our policy completely.
I came to at Glendale. It took me about 2 weeks to convince them that I was all right again. But I had to convince the world that they were throwing a race and that they needed a saliva test. So I started to write it all out in my tip sheet, in and around the horses. Around that time, I ran into Doc.
Clocker, my boy, you've no idea how anxious we were about you. But you're looking fit, I'm glad to say.
Thanks. I wish I could say the same about you and the rest of the world.
No need to worry about us. We'll muddle along somehow.
You think so, huh?
I'm glad to see you've got your tip sheet going again. As long as the bobtails run, who cares what happens to anything else?
Of course, nobody listened to me. I had posters printed telling everybody. I hired sandwichmen to walk through the city. I made speeches in Columbus Circle. I told everybody doomsday was near. I sent letters to Congress, to the UN, editors of newspapers. Nobody paid any attention. I sneaked into the balcony of the General Assembly and tried to shout a speech, and they threw me out. Very polite. I wrote the whole thing up for a magazine, and they printed it and sent me a check and told me if I had any more fiction, they'd be glad to run it. They kept trying to tell everybody the truth about the catatonics. We ought to go to the hospitals and get ourselves let in and have the aliens take over and show us where we're going. But nobody would listen. And then finally, I went back out to Glendale.
Oh, Mr. Locke, we were wondering when you'd come visit your wife. You've been away?
I want my old room back.
But you're perfectly normal.
Give me half hour alone, and you'll be glad to give me my room. Well, here I am back again.
Oh, Mr. Locke.
Okay, I'll give you all the rest of the dope on racing. You won't have any trouble with me.
Then you're convinced you failed.
I'm no dummy. I know when I'm licked.
So do we, Mr. Locke. Naturally, you have no way of detecting the effect you've had. We do. The result is that because of your experiment, we're gladly revising our policy.
Huh? Is this a rib? Nobody listened to me.
Oh, but they did. Visits to catatonics have increased considerably. When the visitors are alone with our human associates, they tentatively follow the directions you gave them in your article. Not all do, to be sure, only those who feel as strongly about being with their loved ones as you do about your wife. We've accepted 4 voluntary applicants.
You mean I made it?
That's right. Before long, we shall have to increase our staff as the numbers of voluntary applicants increases geometrically, and then we'll be able to release the first group to go back and carry the message. Whenever you care to, Mr. Locke, you and your wife are free to leave.
Okay, but I'll tell you what. I owe you plenty. I'll help make that record before I go. I'll teach you how to dope the horses. Is that what you want?
Why, yes.
All right, then let's go. The quicker we get started, the quicker we can get back.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features A Touch of E-Flat by Joe Gibson, a story with a warning. Never let anyone point any weapon at you, even something as harmless-looking as a water pistol. It may be a cooling gun. Galaxy Magazine on your newsstand today. Tonight, X-1 has brought you At the Post, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by H.L. Gold and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in our cast were Frank Maxwell as the clocker, Ann Thomas as his time-stepping wife, Zelda, Arnold Moss as the otherworldly one, John Griggs as the doc who wasn't one, really, and Sam Raskin as the confused little tailor with his mouth full of pins. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Kenneth McGregor and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Throughout the long hours just before dawn, Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford have waited in the Euclidean control chamber with G-47. Waited for news of the submarine, which is plowing northward in 50 feet of water, to meet and capture the rescue boat with Johnson aboard. Jerry and Joan have been forced to go with the submarine, and Jerry has been compelled to send radio messages from the submarine to Johnson, as if he were sending them from the Magic Island, asking Johnson to hurry to the island. As we look into the communication chamber on the 50-foot level of the island, we find G-47 looking intently into the prism reflectors. Mrs. Gregory and Captain Bradford watch him.
Don't forget you were fooled once before when you were allowed to look into this reflector.
That's true, Pat, but this time I think our friend here is too busy to bother with playing any tricks on me, eh, G-47?
Precisely. The image before you is Johnson's boat.
Then if your calculations are correct, and if those messages we heard between the submarine and Johnson's boat were genuine, the submarine should be under the other boat in a few minutes now.
Right. If Johnson's hitting a steady 35, as he says, and the sub maintains its 25, they should meet in 5 or 6 minutes.
What will happen then? What instructions have you given that woman commander regarding her treatment of Johnson?
She will bring the boat here, if Johnson is sensible. Otherwise...
Otherwise what?
It will be sunk with all on board.
Oh, Tex, I'd rather lose everything on board than have that happen. G-47... won't you let us send a message to Johnson telling him to surrender peaceably?
I want everything on board that boat, but I will destroy it if necessary. There are other materials, and your formula, which Johnson has taken from the leg of that pigeon.
Oh, you knew the pigeon had reached Johnson's boat?
Precisely.
Jerry had to give it away in his last message to Johnson. Can't be helped.
I can always compel you to give me the formula, Captain.
That won't be so easy to do.
We value that formula more than our lives, G-47. We will never give it up.
So, you see, if you sink Johnson's boat with the formula materials on board, your chances are mighty small.
That can wait. Now, if you will look into the reflector carefully, you will see the end of another of your hopes.
What does he mean, Tex?
I don't know. Let me get a good look at that thing. I wonder. Yes. You win that one all right, G47.
What are you talking about, Tex?
Well, I had an idea Johnson might be able to slip a message to one of those battleships maneuvering around here. That's blown up now. Look, Pat. You can see the ships going away. And they're too far off Johnson's course for him to reach them.
Yes. Especially after Johnson's receiving Jerry's message to come straight to this island. It may have fooled him.
Not a chance. But Johnson will figure that for all our sakes, the safe thing to do is to obey the message. He'll have something figured out to help us when he arrives.
But don't you think Johnson might have been able to get a message to those boats without being heard here?
No message could leave there without being heard here.
No, I suppose you're right. Well, I guess all we can do is stand here and watch this. How far are they from the island?
They will meet just north of 28 degrees, about 75 miles from here.
And will this reflector show the meeting? I mean, will we be able to see the details of both ships?
Perfectly. When the time comes, I will increase the power and sharpen the focus. You will have splendid opportunity to witness the surrender.
I'm not going to stay here and see it. I'm going back to the yacht.
You stay here, Pat. We can't do any good on the yacht. We might as well see it, no matter what happens. It'll be better than sitting on the yacht, down in that dark lock and wondering what's happening to those two kids.
J24Y to J12C. Jerry Hall to Johnson.
Jerry again, sending a message from that submarine.
Silence.
J24Y to J12C. Hello, J12C. Hello, J12.
J12C to J24Y. Go ahead, J24. Go ahead, Jerry.
Have important instructions for you, J12. Copy and repeat.
Right, Hall. Standing by to copy and repeat. Let's have it.
Tex, something's happened on the submarine.
Let's go on, Dad.
Hey, what's the matter? Can't I go on sending to Johnson?
No, I must replace this tube. You sit over there with Cleostra. Make no move, or I shall resort to the magnetic paralysis.
Don't worry, I won't move. Get over so I can sit down, Joan.
Yes, Jerry. And do be quiet. We are nearly to Mr. Johnson's boat now. We must do nothing to endanger his life.
How about our own lives?
Oh, we are quite safe so long as we follow the commander's orders. But we must do nothing to cause Johnson to make a foolish move. It would mean something terrible for him.
You are wise, my little Cleostra.
I wish you'd call her Joan. I don't like that, Cleostra.
Jerry, please, you will do harm.
Now the tube is replaced. You may return to your seat in the control section. Touch nothing, not even this microphone. These tubes heat in a matter of seconds. When the tube glows evenly, send the message. Use care, great care. A mistake would be costly. Now.
I got it. J24Y, J12C. Hello, Johnson. Hello, J12C.
Go ahead, J24Y. Ready to take your message. Go ahead.
Get this exactly. I am in a submarine running north on your course. Should meet you at latitude 27 degrees, 56 minutes south. Meet in about 5 minutes, making 25 knots in 8 fathoms water. Meet you at 27 degrees, 56 minutes south, and 124 degrees, 30 minutes west, in 5 minutes. Repeat, J12.
Right, Hall. You sound like you mean business. Here it is. You are coming north on my course, making 25 knots in 8 fathoms, meeting my boat at longitude 124.30 west, latitude 27.56 south, in 5 minutes. Right?
Right. Now here's your orders. When you make the position, lay to, we will board you and direct your run to island. You will be about 75 miles from island. You will have to make it straight and fast for all our sakes. Lay to at 27 degrees, 56 minutes. We will board you there. Confirm.
Lay to at 27.56. What's it all about, Jerry?
Sorry, no information. You will learn a lot when we board you. Be seeing you in about 4.5 minutes. That's all. Well, how'd I do?
You are learning. The message approached intelligence.
But there was one thing about Johnson's message that does not satisfy me.
I guess my message didn't satisfy him any too well either from the way he sounded.
I am interested only in technical satisfaction.
What was wrong with the reception?
There was a terrific variation between this wave band and the one used in the previous exchange of messages. Can you account for that?
No, but what of it? He got the message, and that's the main thing, ain't it?
Jerry, do not say ain't.
Okay, Joan. That all, Skipper?
Be more circumspect in your address, Hall. My title is that of Commander.
Oh, I'm sorry. Commander.
That is better. Now you may return to the rear of this section. We cease progress here. SE-1.
Yes, Commander.
Cut all power. Prepare the elevators. Correct your depth gauges. We lay to immediately.
We'll do so at once, Commander.
What's going on now?
I'm not sure, Jerry. This ship has never been on the surface, and yet we are going to board Johnson's boat. I thought no Euclidean submarine ever went to the surface.
You will see this one do it, but in a manner you may not expect. You will take that metal seat with the armrests over there, Hall.
This one?
Yes. Get into it at once.
I'm in it. What now?
You, Cleostra, take the one to your left.
Yes, Commander. I am ready.
You will remain in that position, both of you. One movement, and I will magnetize you to the seat.
I'll hold everything.
I will not move.
That is well.
All powers cut. Progress slackening rapidly. We'll be stationary in 100 yards.
Good. And your depth reading?
Gauge shows the axis at exactly 8 fathoms.
Correct. 8 fathoms is the reading here. You will take the ship to an axis depth of 7 fathoms, even keel.
Right. 7 fathoms, even keel. Going up.
Boy, see how nice this boat slants up through the water.
But nothing ever makes a sound.
Yeah, too quiet for me.
It is done to make communication perfect within the boat.
Access reading 7 fathoms exactly. Both stationary. Elevators ready. Orders, Commander.
Hold position. I will join you in the forward control section. You two remain exactly as you are.
Aye, aye, Skipper. Yes, Commander.
We will obey orders.
It is well. Now I will take over from you, SE-1.
What's going on, Joan?
We are standing by to board Johnson's boat. It should be directly overhead any moment.
Well, I know all that, but we can't board it from here. Johnson's boat's no submarine. This one will have to go to the surface.
Silence in the central section. Ready, SE-1.
Ready.
Elevate slowly by forward tube. Watch for surface craft.
Elevating.
Hey, Joan, this boat's going to the surface, all right?
I think not, Jerry.
Sure it is. Look at the nose go up.
Yes, but look at the stern go down.
Huh? Say, you're right. This middle section is standing still. This crazy boat is going to stand on end.
I think that is right. Look, Jerry, these seats are mounted in universal brackets. Our position remains upright, while the submarine is tilting rapidly.
I'll say it's tilting rapidly. Look at the commander and the engineer way up there in the air. This is the nuttiest boat ride I ever took.
Hall and Cleostra, come to the forward section at once.
You told us to stay here.
Silence, fools. I have changed my mind.
She's a woman, all right, even if she is skipper of the submarine.
We must hurry, Jerry, or she will be very angry.
How are we going to get up there? This thing's pretty near straight up and down by now.
Are you blind as well as stupid? The handrail on the catwalk is now perpendicular. The supporting ribs form a ladder at this position. Hurry up that ladder.
Okay. Here we go, Joan. I'll go ahead.
Yes, Jerry, and please hurry.
Climbing a ladder in an upside-down submarine. Boy, this would give the folks back home a laugh.
Well, hurry, Jerry. Just climb so slowly.
You will take that swinging platform, Hall. You that one, Cleostra.
I will if I'm able to take anything. How you doing, Joan?
I will take my place in a moment.
Gee whiz, look down, Joan. The stern of this thing is right under us, 80 feet or more, straight down.
Yes, and look through the transparent steel in the nose of the boat.
Huh? Oh, boy, the nose is out of water.
Silence. You will make ready to open the forward port, SE-1.
Make ready to open the forward port.
Joan, look, that shadow. It's moving. It's Johnson's boat.
Yes, Jerry.
Open the port. Prepare to board that boat.
Open the port. Prepare to board. Stand clear.
Jerry and Joan thought they had troubles enough when they were forced to go with the Euclidean submarine to capture Johnson's boat and bring it to the Magic Island. However, even the Euclidean submarines do not act like other submarines, and we find this strange boat standing still at the spot where they are to meet Johnson's boat, standing on end, straight up and down in the water. 100 feet of cigar-shaped boat with its nose out of the water. Jerry and Joan are huddled in the tiny forward control section with the woman commander and the Euclidean engineer as Johnson's boat bears down on them.
Golly whiskers, Joan. Here comes Johnson's boat, all right.
Yes, Jerry. The position of the meeting was calculated quite accurately.
There must be some irregularity in the speed of that boat. It will arrive at this point nearly a minute behind the planned schedule.
That's too bad, isn't it?
Oh, please, say no more, Jerry. The commander is angry.
Okay, Joan. Boy, look at that boat come.
What do the indicators make his speed, SE1?
Exactly 35 knots per hour. Decimal 583 knots per minute.
Excellent. His distance?
1,000 yards.
1,000 yards, approximately half a knot. He should lay to here within the next 65 seconds.
That verifies my reading exactly.
Very well. You may go below. Stand by to stabilize as we board. I want this microphone directly connected to the amplifying speaker.
Very good. We'll stand by to stabilize.
Are you ready, SE1?
Ready. Stabilizer gyrating. Amplifiers ready.
To the Johnson cruiser, cut your engines. Stand by. Submarine off your starboard prow. Lay to. We will board you.
Hey, he's not going to stop.
No, the boat is passing us. Johnson's boat, lay to. Stop those engines.
I didn't see a soul on board but the man at the wheel.
This will mean terrible trouble, Jerry.
SE1, look sharp.
Ready, Commander.
Boat ran past without slackening speed. Throw controls this microphone into radio start generators.
Guess there's going to be trouble, all right.
I cannot understand your Mr. Johnson, Jerry. If he knew that danger threatened him...
He is about to learn. There is a possibility his mediocre instruments missed the calculation. That might save his life. Silence. To J-12C, Commander S1 aboard Euclidean submarine. To J-12C, will give you 30 seconds to lay to and come about. S1 to J-12C, lay to and come about. Acknowledge that, J-12C.
Gee, he doesn't answer. I'll bet he's going to run for it.
But that would do him no good, Jerry. He will only be caught.
SE1, prepare to submerge.
Prepare to submerge.
Hall and Cleostra, remain in this compartment. SE1, close the port.
Close port.
Submerge, course due south, full speed ahead, 2 fathoms.
Submerge 2 fathoms, full speed ahead, due south.
I will now return to the central control section with the engineer. You two remain here. All you say will be heard plainly.
We will do nothing, Commander.
Yeah, not much of that.
It is well. When the time comes for action, one movement on your part, and you will not see the capture.
Boy, I'm afraid we're going to have to watch Johnson get some rough treatment now.
There are many terrible things the commander might do to Johnson's boat.
That boat's got a couple of minutes head start, and he can make 55 knots if he has to. This tub can't do that.
But this boat will not have to catch Johnson's boat. We will merely have to get directly astern of him, the axis of this boat directly on his true course. And then those awful submarine rays will be sent from the nose of this ship.
Hey, when those rays start to happen, let's get away from here. We're right in the nose of this thing.
Oh, but not now, Jerry. This was the nose coming out. It will be the stern on the return trip.
Oh, that helps a little. Whoa there. Boy, this boat is slipping down awful fast. Oh, boy. That's just like riding on a roller coaster.
We will soon be on an even keel, Jerry. This boat can submerge and right itself in 1 minute.
It's all too fast for me. Now we're straightening out all right. And we're so near the surface you can see the daylight coming down through the water.
Silence in the stern section. SE1.
Yes, Commander.
Prepare the bow submarine ray, directional magnet.
Bow submarine ray, directional magnet.
Oh, Jerry, the commander is going to use the submarine ray on Johnson's boat.
Not if I know anything about it, she won't.
Well, but what can you do, Jerry?
I can do plenty. Oh! Hey! That magnetism thing got me. I can't move my hands and feet.
It is affecting me also, Jerry. Oh, it makes my arms ache.
Gosh, she's sure pouring it to us. Feels like one of those machines you take hold of and then can't let go.
Now that you are convinced of my ability to hold you out of my way, are you going to make it necessary to apply the magnetic tape to your tongue?
Gosh, she wouldn't really do that, would she?
Yes, Jerry. The paint applied to the tongue would make it impossible for us to talk.
I'd rather quit talking because I thought of it myself. Okay, Commander. I'm shut.
It is well. Ready, SE-1.
Magnetic directional rangefinders directly on stern of escaping yacht.
Range.
5,500 yards.
Drift.
Negligible.
Excellent. Prepare charge.
Strength of charge.
Maximum. That boat would be worthless unless taken intact. To cripple it might damage valuable instruments aboard. It must be totally destroyed.
Right. Maximum charge.
Gee, Joan, she's going to destroy that boat.
Oh, it is terrible, Jerry.
Silence. Are you ready, SE-1?
Ready.
Wait for the 2,000-yard range. You will fire as your graph shows the other boat is 5,985 yards. The ray will absorb loss from moisture to compensate for the 15 yards.
Ready. 5,900 yards. 5,910. 5,920.
When he gets to 5,985, he'll shoot.
Oh, quiet, Jerry. We can do nothing.
5,950. 5,960. 5,970.
You will hold your fire until orders from me.
Stop, SE-1.
Right.
Orders from G47. Do not fire at this time. Continue course following boat. Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Oh, boy, John. That's good luck. I feel better.
It is wonderful, Jerry. In another minute, Johnson's boat would have been destroyed.
Well, I'm glad you decided to do that, G47. It wouldn't have helped any of us to sink that boat.
Oh, Tex, I'm so nervous. It was only a matter of seconds until that submarine ray would have been cutting through the water and Johnson's boat gone.
I have certain ideas I want to experiment with.
Well, I don't care what you do, now that Johnson is safe.
He is 60 miles from this island. There is ample time in which to destroy the boat if you do not accede to my wishes.
Yes, G47, anything you want.
Right, Pap. We'll save Johnson and that boat no matter what we have to do.
Very well. You, Captain, will take your position before the transmission panel. Speak to Johnson. Ask him why he did not lay to for the submarine. Upon your questions and his answers depend the lives of all on board that yacht.
Go ahead, Tex, and don't antagonize G47.
I'll do my best. Do you want me to use the yacht call?
No, it is no longer necessary. Johnson has realized by this time that your yacht is powerless. Use my signature.
Johnson's going to have a nightmare over this. Well, here goes. J12C. Bradford to Johnson on J12C. Hello, J12. Hello.
I wonder if he'll be listening, Tex. He may not be near the set now.
He'll be doing nothing but listening. He'll be looking to us for an explanation as to why Jerry invited him to run into a submarine boarding party. J12C, hello.
You will continue indefinitely, Captain Bradford.
Right. J12C. Bradford from the Euclidean control room to Johnson on J12C. We have observed you closely for the last half hour. Had reports from sub. You must be running a direct course to this island. Position of island as given you before. Why did you refuse to speak submarine? Hello, Johnson. Hello. Must have answer to this message.
Commander S1 to Captain Bradford. Have message for you. Must have G47 okay before give it to you.
You may give Captain Bradford any message.
Very good, G47. To Captain Bradford. Johnson's boat is well within range my sensitive frequency graphs in this submarine. Your wave very strong along Johnson's course, but reaching us unbroken. Apparently not being broken by Johnson's receiver. No evidence of any attempt to transmit from Johnson's boat. That is all.
Thanks, S1. May I inquire how Jerry Hall and Cleostra are?
Troublesome but safe, holding them in stern with magnetic safety belt. Commander S1 to Bradford.
Say, G47, that message sounds kind of funny to me. What did she mean by saying my radio beam had not been broken at Johnson's boat?
That is obvious, I think.
You mean that she's got instruments on board that sub which will show if some receiver has cut a piece out of a beam she's receiving?
Naturally.
Well, that may be naturally to you, but it's black magic to me. I didn't know a radio wave lost such an amount of intensity by individual reception that it could be detected on another receiver.
I'm afraid we know very little about Euclidia, Tex.
Yes, I'm sure of it. But that little one last beats me. Like the farmer who wouldn't put up 2 windmills because there wasn't wind enough for both of them.
He might have utilized your idle talk for the other one.
Sorry, G47, but what can I do of any value now?
Continue trying to raise Johnson. I will give you 300 seconds in which to speak him. Then I will order the destruction of his boat.
Oh, Tex, 5 minutes. What can you do?
Just keep trying. One thing's sure. If Johnson has his receiver open, he'll hear all our conversation in this room. That ought to convince him of the necessity of answering me at once.
Keep trying, Tex. We've got to warn Johnson.
Right, dear. I'll do my best. J12C, Johnson. Hello, J12. Bradford on Euclidia to J12C. Danger of your immediate destruction if you do not answer. What's the matter, Johnson? Hello, J12C. Hello, Johnson. Bradford to J12C. Emergency. Answer at once.
S1 to Euclidia. Stand by for relay from Johnson. I am getting him on 19 meters. We'll relay while you are changing frequency. Stand by for relay from Johnson.
Now step into the incredible, amazing future as we go exploring tomorrow. And now here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, John Campbell, Jr.
For many years, a lot of us have been interested in considering the possibilities of meeting other life forms, other intelligent beings from other stars. Now, if there is life out there, some form of life, and remember, it may be beyond our most far-fetched imaginations. If there is life, and we have our own Earth ships going out in constant, regular deep space exploration, someday, somewhere, maybe even out in the gas cloud of the Crab Nebula. Sometime we will meet.
Step it up. Step it up, the scanner. Maximum. Maximum magnification. Maximum mag. More. Sorry, sir. Max is max. You see? Can you see? Now, visit plate. Quarter it. Quarter, sir. Step up the scanner. Step it up. Don't you understand? I've got to see. Nothing. According to the reading, Captain, nothing, sir. Sir, Captain, hold it. On the bow quarter. Huh? Solid object. 80,000 miles, sir. 1 o'clock. Unknown object changing. 12 o'clock. Sound collision. Make ready, Mr. Dort.
Now hear this. The captain will now address the ship. First, you've heard the collision alarm. You will all now take action stations. Man all weapons. Condition of extreme alert. Red. I repeat, red in all departments. Instrumentation tells us there is an unknown solid object less than 80,000 miles dead as we go. There is a locator beam on us. I repeat, there is an unknown locator on us, giving us unexpected feedback echo. Men, we are not a warship. May the Almighty be with us. That is all.
Mister?
Nothing, sir. Now I see nothing on the busy place.
Oh.
But radio locator. Here, look at it, sir.
Up and down, up and down.
Something monstrous. Monster in size, sir. Making lunatic dashes toward us.
At collision speed.
Then skipping away at the same fantastic speed.
We are not a warship.
Here it comes. There it goes away again. All on radio locate. On busy plate by eye, nothing. Can't detect a thing.
How many solar systems in our galaxy? How many? How many planets fit for life? And how many kinds of life could there be? If this ship isn't from Earth, and it isn't, it has a crew that isn't human. And things that aren't human but are up to the level of deep space travel in their civilization could mean anything.
Yes, sir.
Something like this has been talked about and speculated about for years. Mathematically, it's been an odds-on bet that somewhere in our galaxy there'd be another race with a civilization equal to or further advanced than ours. Nobody could ever guess where or when we'd meet them. It looks like we've done it now.
Well, do you suppose they'll be friendly, Captain?
Thank the Almighty for the blasters.
Here they come in for us fast again, sir. Oh,
pulling away again. Yes, I can read the beam.
If you'll pardon, sir, the blasters are for meteorites, sir. They were never, were they, designed as space weapons?
They can serve as pretty good ones. Because we don't know what they're like, you fool! And we can't take a chance. We can't trust them the fraction of an inch. Sure, I know. Let's try and find out all we can about them. Let's meet. Let's try to be friends with that ship out there. Well, we don't. And you realize why? Because they have locators. Because they might trace us all the way back home without our knowing it. And we can't risk a non-human race knowing where Earth is unless we're sure of them. And how can we be sure? Do you know, Mr. Dort? Do you know, Mr. Dort, with your sentimental Pollyanna slush pile that calls itself your brain, your mind?
Unidentified object retreating against our locator, sir.
Back and forth. Back and forth, the game goes on. They're afraid. We're afraid. Oh, sure. They could come to trade, of course. Import, export. That wouldn't hurt. Or maybe these creatures will be aesthetic marvels, nice and friendly and polite, and underneath the Tojo type. Or am I going to risk the possible future of the human race on a guess that it's safe to trust them? The one thing I won't risk is having them know how to find Earth. Either I know they can't follow me or I don't go home. And they probably feel the same way. Ready to ship for supplemental command.
There, sir. By sight, on the busy plate.
I see it. For the first time by eye. It's a small...
No, sir. It's bigger and bigger.
Bulb. Bulbous shape, like a pear.
Headed for us at extremely high acceleration, sir.
Hard about.
Hard about, sir.
Put us about. Put us about. He's crossing the T. Dort, pass me a relay. Put a relay key to the blasters. Direct to the blasters under my hand.
This is the captain. Ready, blasters. Collision course with unidentified space object. Maximum power. Ready, blasters, section 1. This is it, men.
Exploring Tomorrow continues in just a moment.
All of us, as American citizens, believe in our inherent liberties and freedoms, such as the freedom of the individual to choose and elect his own national representatives. It has been said that there is only one ruling class in America, the people themselves, who, through their vote, have established the law of our land. The real importance of this freedom depends on our accepting the responsibility not only to know what we are voting for or against, but also to choose our leaders for the best interests of the nation. So, accept your responsibility and ensure your freedom.
2 spaceships, 2 scientific expeditions, each uncountable miles from their own home. One from Earth, one from where?
The other ship stopped, Captain.
Cut power.
Quite stationary, sir.
Captain to crew. Steady as you are. Unidentified space object, now stationary. Do not fire. I repeat, fire only on command. This is a trick. You will fire only on command from myself and only when verified. As you are.
Stop dead, sir. They are. Dead for sure. Have a look.
How far do you make them?
Range 20 miles, Captain. Now they're sending modulated shortwave at us, sir.
Frequency modulated?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I see your needle. Apparently a signal. Not enough power to do any harm.
Look up in the left bow busy plate, sir. There's something now.
Yes, I see movement on the outside of their hull. Their coal black hull. We shine like a mirror. Did you ever hear of a jet black spaceship, mister?
We want to reflect the sun. Perhaps they...
Honor a need to absorb heat from a passing sun. Yeah, I know. Now, what's that thing?
Small, round, whatever it is, it's coming out of the side of the ship.
Watch.
Huh?
You're dripping sweat on your instruments.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Yes, I realize what they're up to. If they sent anything toward us, it might seem a projectile or a bomb. So they come close, let out a lifeboat, and go away again. Figure we can send a boat or a man to make contact without risking our whole ship, too.
Captain, that means they think...
Pretty much as we do. Yes, I'm glad that finally occurred to you. Mr. Dort, by law of Space Command, I'm not allowed to leave my ship except at jettison. Mr. Dort, this is not an order.
No, sir.
And would you care to go out and look the thing over, whatever it is?
The alien ship continued to retreat. 40, 80, 400 miles. It came to a stop and hung out there, waiting. Earthman Tommy Dort, climbing into his atomic-driven spacesuit inside the airlock, heard this mileage report and felt safer, but just a little bit safer. For if the unknown black space intruder had stopped its retreat at 400 miles, he reasoned it might not have weapons effective at a greater distance. But Tommy felt lonely and a little expendable, speeding toward that tiny black dot which hung in the incredible brightness of the star gas. 4,000 light years from his wife and family and home. Speeding toward that tiny black spot, the only solid object he could see in all this glowing space. And then he landed. It was a slightly distorted sphere, not much over 6 feet in diameter. There were small tentacles or horns projecting from this black space orange. They looked rather like the detonating horns of an old-era submarine mine, but there was a glint of crystal at the tip of each. Then through his suit he began to feel vibrations. A section of the rounded hull beneath his feet opened up. He moved sideways fast. It opened up and out, and when he looked inside into the now open insides of the little sphere, no, he didn't see the first non-human civilized beings he expected. What he saw was simply a flat plate, and on that flat plate a dim red glow of light came and went. Even inside the protection of his spaceship, Tom Dort felt the hairs in his neck rise and bristle. In momentary terror, he pressed his sleeve button to switch communicator.
Very good, Mr. Dort. Don't panic. No need to panic. Fix your scanner to look into that plate. Harry, these creatures are our equal.
But, sir...
They dumped out a robot with an infrared visiplate for communication, is all. Not risking any personnel. Good SOP for them. Whatever we might do would only damage machinery. That's good. That means they value life as you value yours. Maybe, though, they expect us to pull you with a sphere in on board. They may have a bomb charge that can be detonated when they're ready to blow for their own home. I'll send a visiplate out with a man to face one of its scanners. You return to the ship. Well done, Dort.
Yes, sir. But which way is the ship?
Head straight away from the Double Star. We'll pick you up, Dort.
A tiny black bulbous robot floated in space between two spaceships. Ours and theirs. Represented a culture, theirs, which was at least up to ours. Now our two races could be friends. We could also be deadly enemies. We were a monstrous menace to them, and they to us. And the only safe thing to do with a menace is, of course, to destroy it.
This truce, weeks and weeks. It's starting to get the crew. Mr. Dort.
I'm busy. Still calculating, Captain.
Now, let's see, where was I in thinking? How do we establish friendship without risk of treachery, friendship is based upon confidence. Or is it? Can confidence be established on a foundation of necessarily complete distrust?
If you can be patient a bit longer, sir, I think I've figured out a way we can talk their language. I mean communicate. Since they seem to be stone deaf.
You can?
I think, sir.
You can?
I believe now, sir, we can say almost anything we wish to them and understand what they say back. But, of course, sir, you'll never be able to know how much of what they say is the truth.
Well, neither will they about us. Go on, mister.
Well, I've managed to hook up what amounts to a mechanical translator. We showed them our recorder in the vision plates, and they showed us theirs. They record the FM direct, I think. Now, they don't use sound at all, even in speech. My guess is, sir, that they use microwaves for what you might call person-to-person conversation. I think they make short-wave trains as we make sounds.
Telepathy?
Yes, sir. I think, sir. I'm ready if you are. If you are, that is, prepared to talk with their skipper.
Turn on your mechanical translator. What shall I say to them, Dort? What shall I say?
They're waiting. They keep sending something like a CQ. They're oxygen breathers, sir, and they appear not too dissimilar in certain ways. I'm sure I detected signs of irony.
Irony?
I mean, sir, that implies humor. In other words, sir, I think they could be likable.
All right. Send this.
Hi, sir. They're acting suspicious.
All right. Say, the appropriate things about this first contact of two dissimilar but civilized races, and that my hope that a friendly intercourse between the two peoples will result.
Excuse me, what appropriate things? Oh, just a second, sir. The skipper sends you the following, quote, "That is all very well, but is there any way for us to let each other go home alive? I would be happy to hear of such a way if you can contrive one. At the moment, it seems to me that one of us must be killed." Unquote.
All right, then. Send this. Look here out there, whoever you are. It looks like we have to fight, and one batch of us gets killed. All right, we're ready if we have to. But if you win, we've got it fixed so you'll never find out where Earth is. And there's a good chance we'll get you anyhow. We've stayed here a month, and we've swapped information, and we don't hate each other. There's no reason for us to fight, except to protect our races.
Well, it says, sir, yes, all you say is true, but that his race has to be protected just as you feel that yours must be. He says, quote, "Perhaps this will help us to think clearly. Suppose we make it so we can't find each other's home planet, but leave a way to communicate in the future. So work out grounds for a common trust. If our governments want to be fools, let them. But we should give them the chance to make friends instead of starting a space war out of mutual panic," unquote.
All right, I have it. Send this. Okay, sir. Whoever you are, let's swap spaceships. Send it, send it.
He answers, "Interesting. What is rest of your swapping proposal?"
Send this. Swap ships and crews. I remove all star charts and anything else evidential. He removes all his navigational records. We train each other's key crewmen, and I go for home with my crew and his ship. He goes for home with his crew and his ship. That's my proposal. Tell him that's final. If he refuses, I'll blast.
Oh, hold on, please, sir. He says, accepted. He says, accepted. With one proviso that we arrange to meet here, at this starpit, in exactly one astronome of the double star.
Agreed. To us, that'll be a year. Send it.
Now hear this. On signal, prepare to abandon ship. We sail for home as soon as we have learned to man controls of unidentified space object. And good Godspeed to us all. We will all see Earth again as soon as we are trained, and we train them.
There's a hidden assumption in the story we just heard that any intelligent entity can and may lie. I wonder just what a lie is and why it is that we expect intelligent entities to lie. Could a machine lie? Could an intelligent machine lie? Well, next time we have a discussion on that I think you'll find interesting. It's called Liar.
Join us for a fascinating adventure in Exploring Tomorrow. Heard in our cast tonight were Lon Clark and Lawson Zerbe. Script was by Murray Leinster, adapted by Peter Irving. Produced and directed by Sanford Marshall here in New York. Bill Maher speaking.
We pause now for station identification.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Look, guys! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a large metropolitan newspaper. The adventure of the Howling Coyote is rapidly coming to a close. Visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, a wealthy Indian oil man, Superman, as Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen have been in the thick of many accidents, all of which have been preceded by the strange howling of a coyote. In our last episode, we heard how Rawson, the man responsible for all these accidents, was finally cornered and driven into a mountain cave where he prepared to fight for his life. Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's close friend, and Comanche Joe both went into the cave to capture Rawson. A gunfight resulted in a cave-in, which blocked up the entrance to the cave and trapped all three men. Seriously wounded, the air within the cave rapidly being used up, things looked very bad for them. Meanwhile, unaware of the danger threatening their friends, Clark Kent and Jimmy had decided to spend another night in town with the doctor who had operated on Jimmy some time before. Listen.
Gee, Doc, it sure is swell.
Yes?
That fire makes it feel warm and cozy in here.
Yeah, have some more popcorn, Jimmy?
Oh, gosh, no, I'm going to bust any minute as it is.
Jimmy, I think you'd better go on up to bed. You need your rest.
Oh, gee, Mr. Kent, let me stay up just a little while longer.
Well, I'll leave that up to the doctor.
Well, just a few minutes longer, Jimmy. Then off it.
I'm not even sure I'll be able to sleep tonight. Wondering what that surprise is that Tumbleweed said he'd have for me. I wonder what old Tumbleweed's doing now.
Probably back at the ranch house kitchen making fudge.
Well, there's a character. I'll never forget the night that Superman brought him and Jimmy to my door.
What'd you say, Doc? Superman?
You must have misunderstood me, Jimmy.
No, sir, I don't think I did. You said Superman brought Tumbleweed and me to your door.
No, due to that fire's making you sleepy, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You're beginning to imagine things.
Of course.
Well, maybe I am. Mr. Kent, why don't you call the ranch house on the telephone and find out if they caught Rawson yet?
Oh, it'd be a waste of time, Jimmy. Comanche and Tumbleweed both know we're anxious to learn about Rawson the minute they capture him. I'm sure they'll call us when they do.
I guess so. I can't help worrying about Tumbleweed, though.
Oh, great heavens. Jimmy, don't you ever talk about anyone else? It's been Tumbleweed all the time you've been here.
Yeah, I'm beginning to get a little jealous. I thought I was Jimmy's hero.
Oh, you are, Mr. Kent. Let's forget it. Or I'm going to be sounding like a sissy.
Yes, and besides, I think you've done enough talking for one night. Now, ought to go to bed, young man.
Okay, Doc. Mr. Kent, yes, Jimmy. I got a funny feeling that maybe everything isn't all right back at that ranch.
No, Jimmy.
Rawson's a pretty tough guy, Mr. Kent. If they ever cornered him, would you mind telephoning just to kind of be sure that everything's okay?
Well, Jimmy, I'll tell you what I'll do. If Comanche or Tumbleweed haven't called us by the time I come up to bed, I'll call them, okay?
Okay, Mr. Kent.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Jimmy. Good night. He's a great youngster, Kent. I'll be sorry to see him go tomorrow morning. He and that Tumbleweed feller certainly have taken a shine to each other.
What's the surprise Tumbleweed's got for you?
Why, it's a bow and arrow set, I believe.
Oh.
Say, that fire is hot, you know. I think I'll roll up my sleeves if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Say, that story you told me about the howling of the coyote, that's pretty interesting. How do you figure Rawson makes the coyote howl whenever he wants him to?
Well, the nearest I can come to a solution to that, Doc, is that Rawson had somehow managed to train a coyote to howl whenever he... Well, what are you staring at, Doc?
Your arm, Kent.
My arm?
I didn't see it, of course, until you rolled up your sleeve just now. That mark on your forearm.
What about it, Doc?
Have you given any blood transfusions lately, Kent?
Transfusions? That's a silly question, Doc. Of course not. Oh, that mark. No, that mark, you see, I made that with a knife. Mm-hmm. I was fiddling a piece of wood and slipped with a knife.
Oh.
It doesn't sound as if you don't believe me.
Well, it must be coincidence, of course, but the other night when Jimmy was dying and needed a blood transfusion...
Blood transfusion? Jimmy dying? Well, this is the first I've heard of that.
Oh.
You told me you'd performed an operation and that Jimmy came through it with flying colors.
I've said too much already, Kent. Well, I promised I'd never breathe a word of it to anyone.
Oh, Doc, I'm sorry. I don't understand this.
I'd rather change the subject, if you don't mind.
Well...
Now, listen, about Rawson and that howling coyote.
Cripple Wolf! You go, sheep running buck. Is there a word? Is there a sign from those within the cave? No word. No sign. But my son, Comanche Joe, he trapped inside that cave. 2 other men with him. If even now they are not dead, there is not much time. Hundreds of tons of rock seal up caves. It takes long time to move them away. How long? The sun must rise and set 3 times. Too long. But my son shall be saved. Not so. Hark, you chief crippled wolf. When moon was full, not long ago, new warrior came to us. White man call him Jimmy. We call him Laughing Square. Of this I know. Life of Laughing Square is protected by eagle in shape of man. White men call him Superman. We will beg him come and help us. Beg him save my son and men with him inside cave. Maybe help, maybe no. I decree it. Call warriors together. Make ready with ceremonial drums. We will call upon eagle in shape of man. We will call upon Superman. It is done.
For the 3 men, Comanche Joe, Tumbleweed, and Rawson, trapped within the cave, it may be too late. 3 fatal hours have gone by since the walls caved in. Yet the Indians prepare to call for help on their new god, the eagle in the shape of a man. It doesn't seem possible that Superman can aid his friends, for even now, as Clark Kent, he sits chatting with the doctor in the doctor's home. Killed. Of course, your young friend Jimmy being badly hurt by that horse.
Rawson must have been behind that, too, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I imagine Comanche's tribesmen will capture him before long. That'll put an end to the whole rotten business.
I hope so.
Well, frankly, I'm going to enjoy getting back to Metropolis. I haven't seen Editor White for a long time.
To say nothing of the young lady you mentioned, Miss Lois Lane.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be happy to see her, too, of course.
I guess.
Oh, well, Doctor, it's getting late. I'd better be getting along to bed. You said the man would be over from the garage to fix those tires in the morning, didn't
you? Oh, yes. He'll be here early, and you can get an early start.
Good. Well, then, I think I'll be off to bed. I almost forgot.
Yeah?
I promised Jimmy I'd call the ranch house and see if everything's all right.
Oh, yes, so you did. There's the phone right there beside you.
Oh, yes, thanks. Let's see, I don't know the number.
Just ask for the ranch house. Operator will get it for you.
Oh, good. I'm surprised at Jimmy being so upset about... hello? Yes, would you get me the ranch house of Comanche Joe, please? That's right. Thanks. What's that? Oh, fine. And she'll call me back if she gets it.
Good. Kent, I'm certainly going to miss you. I used to practice in the city, you know, and although I enjoy the life out here, it does get pretty monotonous at times.
I imagine so.
It's done me a world of good just being able to talk with you.
I've enjoyed it tremendously myself. You've been awfully good, Doctor, and I can't tell you how I appreciate what you've done for Jimmy.
Well, that's my job, Mr. Kent. Hello, listen.
Sounds like drums beating in the hills. I thought I heard them.
You recall, Kent, I mentioned that on a quiet night you could hear one tribe sending messages to another tribe by means of the drum language.
Yes. Do you notice anything peculiar about those drums?
No, do you?
I just had a feeling. I can't put my finger on it. No, it's nothing, I'm sure. I wish that operator would call back.
Of course, you're getting jumpy. How about a little snack before going to bed? Cheese and crackers, some warm milk. You'll sleep better.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. I am getting a little hungry.
Well, let's raid the icebox. Come on into the kitchen.
All right, will you?
Uh-oh, no, wait. That's your call.
Yes. Hello? Yes. What? Oh, I see. No, don't bother. All right, good night.
What is it, Kent?
The operator says no one answers at the ranch. Funny?
Oh, no. They're probably all joining in the hunt for Rawson.
Yeah, probably. Very strange, those drums beating out there.
What about them, Kent?
I don't know exactly. It's just that they give me a sort of peculiar feeling.
Oh, nonsense. You've been through such an exciting time during these past few weeks, you're all unnerved.
Unnerved? Me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I suppose there may be something to that. Man, it's odd. I don't know. I've just got a feeling those drums are trying to say something to me, and I can't understand what it is.
Oh, of course you can. I certainly don't see why you'd want to. Come on into the kitchen and have some cheese and crackers and milk. You'll sleep better for it, Kent.
Huh? Oh, excuse me, those drums. I guess I'm just imagining things. All right, Doctor. Lead the way to the kitchen and watch me eat you out of house and home.
But Superman is not imagining things. Those drums, the ceremonial drums of the Comanche tribe, are calling to him for help. Calling for him to aid his friends Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed Jones. Yes, and Rawson, too. Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our exciting story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. The transcription feature, Superman.
Guys, look, it's a plane. It's a plane. It's Superman.
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with physical powers far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Visiting the ranch of Comanche Joe, wealthy Indian oil man, Superman, as Clark Kent, and Jimmy Olsen have had many stirring adventures. Kent had come to the ranch to investigate for his paper the weird howling of a coyote, which occurred every time an accident was about to happen. In our last episode, we heard how Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed Jones, Jimmy's close friends, in trying to capture the villainous Rawson, were trapped in a cave when the entrance to the cave collapsed. Warriors of the Comanche tribe worked for hours trying to extricate them, but without success. Finally, in desperation, Chief Running Fox of the tribe decided to call upon the eagle in the shape of a man, as they call Superman, for help. Ceremonial drums began to beat, but Superman, staying the night at a doctor's home on the other side of the mountains, was unaware of the grave danger threatening his friends. Listen. Well, there you are, Kent. Cheese, crackers, and some warm milk. Milk will make you sleep like a top.
Thanks, Doc.
Kent, you're still worried about those Indian drums beating off in the hills, aren't you?
Oh, I'm not worried exactly. It's just that... Well, I don't know, Doc. I got a strange feeling they're trying to say something I can't understand.
Oh, nonsense. Indians are probably just holding a little tribal ceremony tonight.
Well, I don't see how that could be so. I just called the ranch house and no one answered. Well, that means only one thing. This Rawson business isn't settled. Either they haven't captured him, or if they have, something's gone wrong.
But I don't...
Those Indians, the entire Comanche tribe, are supposed to be out tracking Rawson down. Well, if that's so, why should they be holding a ceremony of some sort? It doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe they've just captured Rawson, and they're celebrating his capture.
Well, that's possible, but I...
What?
Mr. Kent.
Jimmy!
What are you doing out of bed, young man?
Those drums beating in the hills.
What about them, Jimmy?
Something's wrong, Mr. Kent.
Huh?
I told you I can understand a good deal of the Comanche drum language. Chief Running Fox taught me.
Yes, I know, but...
Something terrible has happened to Tumbleweed and Comanche Joe.
What?
I can't tell what it is. I don't know enough about the drum language. But something has happened to them. And the Indians are calling to the eagle in the shape of a man for help.
What?
Eagle in the shape of a man?
Well, that's what they call Superman. Mr. Kent, we gotta do something. Comanche Joe and Tumbleweed are in terrible danger. That's what those drums are saying. That's why they're calling on Superman.
Yes, Jimmy, I know.
You were right about those drums, Kent. They were trying to send a message.
Heaven's sake, stop standing there talking and do something. We got to get back to the ranch, and we got to get back right now.
How can we, Jimmy? We've got 2 flat tires. You can take my car, Kent.
Oh, good.
There isn't much gas in it. While you and Jimmy are getting ready, I'll drive down to the garage and get the tank filled.
No, wait.
Huh?
I'll get the gas.
Well,
You stay here and help Jimmy get ready.
Very well, Kent. Anything you say.
I won't be long. Is there a key in the car?
Yes, and I don't think you'll have any difficulty, Kent.
No, I suppose I will. I won't be long. This is a job for Superman. Whatever's to be done must be done quickly. And I didn't see how I could get away from Jimmy and the doctor. That's solved now. I'll take the car, drive a short distance down the street, then leave it and make for the ranch. I may be able to save Comanche and Tumbleweed from whatever danger threatens and get back before I'm discovered. There's the car. Got to hurry. Now then, I'll leave the car here and make for the ranch. Let's hope I'm in time. Up, and away!
Meanwhile, as Superman streaks through the night, within the mountain cave, Comanche Joe, Tumbleweed Jones, and Rawson face death. Listen.
Tumbleweed?
I hear you, Comanche.
You all right?
Feel kind of weak. Can't breathe none too good.
It's the end here. That's what it is. We won't last much longer. Shut up, Rawson. I want to talk. I gotta talk. Just sitting here in the blackness with the air getting scarcer and scarcer. Sitting here waiting for death. I gotta do something.
Here's some fudge. Try chewing on that. How much longer you think we got, Comanche?
Not much. It's hard to breathe. Every time I take a breath, my chest, it pains in my chest. Why don't you keep quiet, Rawson? We're all going through the same thing. We know how you feel. No, you don't know. It's worse for me. You two can die peaceful. For me, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of a lot of things. I gotta confess before I die. I gotta get forgiveness. I can't die now. I ain't ready. I ain't ready to die.
Who is ready to die? A lot of things I'd like to do, too, before I go. Shucks. Never did finish that bow and arrow set for little laughing squirrel. Now, there's a young'un for you. Mighty fine boy. Funny thing, he's the only reason I hate to go out. Him and me, we was going to have a lot of fun together.
Stop talking. Both of you. Aaron here. Pretty bad. Use more of it when you talk.
Okay, Comanche. Won't say another word.
I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. You haven't a chance, Rawson, unless they get to us in time.
Ain't I reckons how they ain't going to do that.
Why don't we help? Why don't we just sit here? They're probably working to us from the other side, ain't they?
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Of course they're working toward us, trying to get us out. You don't think they wouldn't? Wait, listen.
Shut your talking.
I can hear them.
Shut your talking.
I can hear them, I tell you. They're digging, that's what they're doing. They're digging their way toward us. And we're just sitting here, not doing anything to help. We've got to help. Come on. Give me a hand here. Help me get these rocks out of the way. Come on, do you hear? Give me a hand here. These rocks are too big for one man. I got to get this rock out of the way. I got it. Please. I don't hear them anymore. They never did hear them. You just imagined it, Rawson, and now shut up. I heard them, I tell you. I heard them all right. But I don't hear them now. They've stopped digging. They're giving up, that's what. They decided we're dead in here, and they're giving up. But they can't give up. They can't. Hello. Hello out there. Come back. Don't stop digging. We're still alive, you hear? We're still alive. Rawson. Help me get out, Comanche. I know I'm responsible for all this. It's all my fault. But we've got to get out of here, Comanche. Help us get out. I'll help you, Rawson.
I reckon as how that was the only way you could help him, Comanche.
I reckon.
He's lucky. He won't know when he stops breathing, but we'll know, Comanche. We'll know. Comanche. He's unconscious. I guess that effort that caused him to hit Rawson was too much for him. And I reckon as how effort or no effort, it's too much for me.
Cripple wolf. It's running up. Drums beat long time. Long time we call upon eagle in shape of man. He not come. No. He must come. He must hear our cry for aid.
If he come not soon, it be too late. Even now, too late.
I'll speak you, crippled wolf.
3, 4 hours. Men in cave. They cannot live that long. Been saying to trees.
I feel there's something wrong. Eagle in shape of man not come. Maybe he not hear us. I, chief running fox, will call to him myself. Eagle in shape of man, help us. Superman, help us. Help us.
I hope I'm in time. But in time for what? I have no idea at all of what has happened. I only know that Comanche and Tumbleweed need me. There's the ranch house below me. I'll go down and... No, wait. Ranch house is dark. There's not a light showing anywhere. But there's a glow of some kind up on the mountain. Yes. And the sound of the drums is coming from there. Whatever the trouble is, I'm sure to find it up there on the mountain. Faster, faster. Yes, there are the Indians below me, dancing around that huge bonfire and beating on drums. What can the trouble be? What danger is threatening Tumbleweed and Comanche? I'll circle down a little lower and try to find out. Down, down.
Hear me. They are trapped within cave where burn torches.
Trapped in the cave where burn the torches.
Help them, O eagle in shape of man. Help them. Help them.
Yes. I see now. There must have been a cave in. Well, it won't be difficult to get through. But am I in time? That's the question. Am I in time? Down! Down!
Is Superman too late? Will he reach the stricken men in time to save them? Be sure to hear the next thrill-packed episode of our story with Superman.
And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Transcribed. Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! Roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. While Astro was held prisoner by mysterious smugglers on the planet Venus, his renegade cousin Mirko impersonated him at Space Academy. Managing to escape, Astro returned to the Academy where he, Tom Corbett, and Roger Manning captured Mirko. Now the three cadets have been summoned to the quarters of Commander Arkwright.
Astro, the Solar Alliance has requested you to undertake a highly important but extremely dangerous mission.
Me, sir?
Cadets Corbett and Manning, your cooperation is also requested.
I'm ready, sir. Same here. What's the mission, sir?
As you know, Mirko was caught smuggling out Neo-RDX, the most powerful explosive in the universe. He's confessed that the explosives are to be used in a bigger operation, raiding the space lanes.
Raiding? You mean piracy, sir?
Exactly. Mirko had a supra-high-frequency transmitter by which he contacted Beale from the Academy. This morning, intelligence persuaded Mirko to contact Beale. This is a tape recording of their conversation.
FC-394. Mirko calling Beale. FC-394. Mirko calling Beale. Come in, Beale.
Beale here. I've been trying to contact you, Mirko. Astro got away.
Yes, I know. He was here.
What?
Luckily, the fool came to the dormitory first. I was there alone, and I took care of him. We'll never have to worry about my dear, stupid cousin again.
Well, that's a relief. Nice work, Mirko.
Now, listen. I'm hiding the stuff aboard the rocket cruiser Polaris tonight. I've already given you the rocket schedule.
Right. We'll be ready to pick it up. Oh, wait just a minute. Stand by.
Right here, Beale was apparently interrupted, perhaps by the leader of the operation who gave him other instructions. You'll hear him again in a minute.
But, sir, what did Mirko mean? He took care of me.
We instructed him to say that, Astro. If Beale and the others believed you were dead, they'd feel safe in continuing to work with Mirko. Then we could put a dummy package aboard the Polaris, and intelligence officers could grab the gang when they picked it up.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, now, Mirko, listen sharp.
Go ahead, Beale.
Here's what you do. Since you're in that Polaris unit, you can bring the stuff out yourself.
Bring it myself? You mean to Venusport?
Well, now, maybe we ain't there no more.
Where are you?
We ain't quite settled on a place yet. We've got the Polaris schedule, so someplace along the line, one port or another, you'll be contacted.
Which port?
Ain't quite sure of that, neither. You just get yourself away from Corbett and Manning on all the spaceports, and we'll be in touch with you. So long, Mirko. See you later.
All right, that's the end of the recording. Now, do you understand your assignment, Astro?
I think so, sir. Mirko posed as me. Now you want me to pose as him and make contact with the gang.
Right. Find out all you can about them and their plans. But I must warn you, this assignment is extremely dangerous. They're obviously suspicious. That's why they want to see Mirko.
I realize that, sir.
So, you may refuse the assignment if you wish.
Refuse it? Not me.
Thank you. Cadets Corbett and Manning, you have the same choice. You needn't accompany Cadet Astro if you prefer not to.
Oh, let that hillbilly get his neck in a sling without us? Not in a million years. I beg your pardon, sir.
I understand, Manning. Cadet Corbett?
Count me in, sir, naturally.
Very well, then, cadets. You've made your decision, and I must say I'm proud of you. You will prepare to blast off in 2 hours. Use your heads and try to come home safely. Now, goodbye. And spaceman's luck to you all.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Tom Corbett, Astro, and Roger Manning are just about to blast off on another adventure in outer space. There they go. Say, how'd you like to have a picture of that? A picture that would show your favorite Space Cadets in action. You can, you know. All you have to do is collect the Space Cadet picture cutouts you find on the back of every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep. Soon you'll have picture cutouts of all the Space Cadets. You can cut them out and use them in your own Space Cadet adventures. Here's the latest special prize you get with every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep. Just look on the back of the package. Right there you'll see a swell picture made from an actual photograph. Each cutout is a full-length picture, too, so you can see the official Space Academy uniform. You see Dr. Dale in her full-dress uniform. Another package shows you Roger Manning wearing a spacesuit, the same kind the cadets wear out in space or on another planet. Astro and Tom are in uniform, too, all ready for you to set up in a Space Cadet scene. And remember, that picture cutout comes with the best-tasting whole wheat and malt cereal you ever tasted. Just rustle those flavorful wheat flakes into your cereal bowl tomorrow morning. You'll say the swellest cereal in the whole solar system is Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
In an attempt to discover the whereabouts and identity of a gang of men who plan to raid the space lanes, Tom, Roger, and Astro volunteer for a supposedly routine training flight in the rocket cruiser Polaris, hoping to lure the gang into a trap.
Well, this is Marsport. Here's your last chance to be a hero, Astro.
Nothing happened on Luna or Venus, and nothing will happen here either, Roger.
It certainly won't if Roger and I keep you surrounded like this. Listen, Astro, we'll kind of evaporate. You make like Mirko and amble around the spaceport alone.
I've ambled around almost every spaceport in the inner solar system, Tom, and all I've got to show for it is sore feet.
That's the only place you've got any feeling, Leadhead.
Come on, Roger.
But don't worry, Astro. We'll be near to protect you.
Go blow your jets. Well, here we go again.
Hey, got a match?
Sorry.
Michael?
Oh, maybe I have.
Here, take these matches. Light one for me.
Oh, okay. You're making the contact?
I ain't out for the walk. Hey, watch it. You almost sprained me. What are you so nervous about?
Oh, I was thinking. Tom, Corbett and Manning, they're around here someplace.
Don't worry about them. Now listen, walk around behind that far hangar. You'll see a little guy waiting there. Go with him. Well, go on. What are you waiting for?
What about Corbett and Manning?
I said forget about them. You just get going and lead them to us. We'll take care of them good.
Hey, Tom, look. Astro's leaving the spaceport. He's ducking behind that hangar.
Uh-huh. I think he's made contact. Come on, Roger, after him.
Hey, just a minute, fellas. Got a match?
No, sorry.
How about you?
No, let go of my arm.
You don't have to get so uppity. I just asked you.
All right, and I told you. Now blow, will you?
You'll show you fresh punks. Hey, fellas!
Hey, what gives?
Look, Roger, those three men. Pile in, boys. Watch yourself, Roger.
I can handle these jokers with one hand.
Get him, fellas. Slug him. Hey, the spaceport police. Come on, let's get out of here.
Come back here, you yellow space rats. What are you afraid of?
Knock it off, Roger. Let's get after Astro.
Astro, jumping Jupiter. I almost forgot about him. Let's blast.
He went around this hangar. See him?
No sign of Astro anywhere, Tom. What do we do now?
Nothing we can do but go back to the Polaris and hope Astro shows up.
Here he is, Bill. Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Okay. You can take his blindfold off now, Nicky.
There you are, Michael.
Hey, what's the idea, Bill? They made me keep this blindfold on all the way from Marsport.
Well, now, lad, we couldn't take no chances. You might be the other one.
Astro? Well, this should make you change your mind.
Neo RDX.
That's right. Convinced now?
Let's see.
Well?
Yeah. This looks like the stuff, all right. Well, you know how it is, Mirko. We had to make sure. This is a big deal we're in. Real big.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Bill, when do we start operating?
That's none of your business, Mirko.
Oh, now, look, why all the secrecy with me? I'm risking my neck for you guys. I even killed a man.
You're being well paid for it. Here. Here's your money.
Oh, thanks.
Nicky will take you back to your ship. When you get back to the academy, contact me and I'll tell you where to pick up the next load. Now I know you're okay. We'll carry on the way we started.
Okay. So long, Bill.
Be good, kid. Yeah, Beale here.
Beale, this is Valdor.
Yes, sir. Did you watch him through the teleceiver I hooked up?
Yes, he looked like Mirko.
Sure. I guess we were too suspicious.
Why, wait. Did you notice he didn't try to get more out of you this time? He didn't even count what you gave him.
Yeah. See, that's right. He's okay, though. He brought us the Neo RDX.
Place it directly in front of the teleceiver lens so I can see it clearly.
It's the right stuff.
Do as I tell you.
Okay, Valdor. See? It's the right
Where
stuff.
are the detonators?
Huh?
The detonators, you fool. That explosive can't be set off without the special detonators.
We ain't here.
Get Mirko back, hurry.
Too late. They just took off.
There's a radio in the jet boat. Call Nicky at once and tell him to bring Mirko back.
Roger, look. It's Astro. The old Venusian hillbilly himself. Space boy, we were worried about you. We're in blazes.
Look, fellas, no time to talk now. We got to blast off fast. Come on.
Why? What's the rush? What happened?
Beale must have noticed by now I didn't bring the detonators. I pulled the audio wire in Nicky's jet boat, so Beale couldn't call him, but they might have other contacts here. Come on. Climb into the airlock and let's blast.
All right now, Astro. Let's find out if you're still in the gang's confidence. Contact Beale.
Yes, Commander Arkwright.
And you two boys, stay absolutely quiet.
Yes, sir. FC 394, Mirko calling Beale. Come in, Beale. FC 394, Mirko to Beale. Come in.
Beale here. Listen, Mirko, what happened to the detonators?
Uh-oh, they're wide.
Quiet, Roger. The what?
The detonators. The little ball-like caps made out of vanadium. The explosive's no good without them.
I don't know anything about them, Beale.
You must have got them with the Neo-RTX.
All I found in the locker was the package I brought up to you.
Sure?
Positive.
Blast those jokers. They've messed it up then. Well, we'll have to get us a double supply this time. Now listen, Mirko. Here are your orders.
Go ahead.
Thursday night, you slip out of the academy. At 9:40, a westbound monorail leaves the village heading for Atom City. Get on it. Sit in the second car from the end. Up then.
A westbound monorail at 9:40 Thursday. Right. Then what?
You'll be contacted on the car. When you get the stuff, secure it behind the rudder assembly on the next Academy rocket ship, making a trade-in flight to main solar ports. Then relay is scheduled to me. Check?
Check.
Right then. That's all. So long, Mirko.
You know, Tom, riding around the monorail train like this is a lot of fun. But has any one of these monorails ever fallen off the track?
Not that I know of.
Well, looks kind of dangerous hanging from that one rail going at this speed.
Relax, will you? We've got bigger worries.
Hey, we're slowing down. Think maybe something will happen here?
Let's hope so.
Where's Astro?
Still in the car ahead. Oh, keep your face in that newspaper now. We're stopping.
Not too many people getting on.
But one important guy is getting on.
Who?
Nicky, that character that picked a fight with us at Marsport.
Oh, great.
Roger, Nicky just motioned to Astro.
Yeah, and Astro's getting up, walking to the door.
Nicky's right alongside. They're getting off. Come on.
We getting off, too?
What do you think? Hurry.
But Nicky may spot us.
We'll have to take that chance. Maybe if we move fast enough and duck behind one of the station pillars, he won't.
Might work. It's kind of dark out there.
Move fast, Roger.
All set.
Come on. Down these steps. Duck behind here and hold still.
Right. You see Astro?
Wait a minute. Hey!
What's the matter?
Nicky tricked us. He and Astro didn't get off.
Jumping Jupiter. There goes the monorail. And Astro's on it.
What's the matter with you, Nicky? Can't you make up your mind? Why didn't we get off?
Because I changed my mind. That's why, Mirko. Now move up into the front car.
Why?
Because I tell you.
Wait a minute. Who do you think you're ordering around?
You, Buster. You think I didn't recognize those two jokers in the back car? They were Corbett and Manning.
What? But
Yeah,
I didn't...
Yeah, I know. You said you ducked them. But I just made sure you did. Now move.
Well, what's in the front car?
Exactly what you're after, Mirko. And maybe a little more. Okay, cross over.
Well, what now? There's nobody here.
Sure there is, Mirko, my boy.
Beale. Well, you fellas sure do a lot of traveling.
This trip was worth it. I made it special. Just to introduce you to someone you've been wanting to meet.
Who?
The name is Valdor.
Valdor?
Yes, Beale tells me you've been rather curious about me.
Well, you're the head of this whole operation.
That's right, Mirko, and I must confess I've been curious about you, too.
Have?
Yes, and the answer to one question will satisfy my curiosity, Mirko.
Oh, well, go ahead. Shoot.
When and where did you meet our friend Beale?
Why, it was back home on Venus. We did a job together, and that's all.
It certainly is for you, Astro.
Why, you dirty space crawler.
Watch him.
I am. Hold still, big boy.
I'll burn a hole through you with this heat ray.
So you thought you could trap me, Astro, by using the same trick by masquerading as your cousin Mirko?
You're already trapped, Valdo. The Solar Guard knows all about you.
How could they when you didn't even know?
Tom and Roger saw me on this monorail, and they saw Nicky, too.
Your friends are far behind, and when they finally catch up to you, it'll be too late.
You think so, huh?
I know so. In a very few minutes, we will pass over a high chasm. There'll be a drop of some 400 or 500 feet, and this spells an accident. An extremely fatal accident.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Listen to those giant presses. They're turning out new, completely new packages for the Kellogg Company. Each package is in bright new colors, gay new pictures. And do you know what's going into those packages? Kellogg cereals. A big selection of the world's finest breakfast foods, yours in new picture packages. You want to see all the new faces on the Kellogg's. You want to try all the swell Kellogg cereals. And just for an example, listen to this. On the back of every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep, there's a picture of one of the Space Cadets or Dr. Dale. It's a full-length picture cutout showing one of the official Space Academy uniforms. You can get as many as 4 different picture cutouts because different Pep packages have different cutouts. But one thing is still the same, and that's the swell whole wheat cereal you get inside. See other Kellogg packages at your game.
Did you see what play? In brand new boxes, bright and gay, these famous cereals come your way. Go see this eyeful. The Kellogg's All-Star Breakfast Show has a cheerful look, a lift for you. Starts you off with a hoop-de-doo. Kellogg's for breakfast and a happy, happy day. Get a big supply today.
Yes, get a big supply today of the great Kellogg cereals in their bright new boxes.
As the monorail trail hurtles through the night, suspended from a single gleaming rail and rapidly nears a wide, deep chasm, Astro faces death at the hands of the men he tried to trap. But meanwhile, some distance behind in a single monorail car speeding along a parallel track, Tom and Roger try desperately to catch up to their friend.
Can't you make this old crate go faster, Tom?
She's wide open, Roger. Don't worry, we're picking up time on that train.
They still say we should have commandeered an auto jet. We would have caught up by now.
And how would we have gotten aboard the train? No, Commander Arkwright picked the best idea. Lucky this work car was parked on the siding at that last station.
Well, all right, but suppose another train shows up on this track. We'll be in great shape then.
The commander said he'd see that all traffic was cleared for us. Now stop griping, will you?
Okay, but blasted, I wish we'd spot that train.
Wait, there it is. See those red lights?
Great Galaxy, that's it. Come on, we've got to catch up. We can't miss now.
Close to the chasm. Less than a minute away.
Very good. Open this side door, Beale, and you, Nicky, stand by the door between the cars. See that none of the passengers interrupt us.
All right, Valdo. Door's open, Valdo.
Thank you, Beale. Move up to it, Astro.
Oh, no, I won't.
Take your choice. Jump by yourself or be thrown out.
All right, big shot. You throw me if you can.
Easily done. Beale, the parallel ray. Freeze him first.
Wait a minute, Valdo. There's another monorail catching up on the next track. Someone in the front cabin. It's that cadet, Corbett.
Tom.
And the other one's leaning out of the side door. The car's coming alongside.
Gangway!
Stop him quickly!
Come on, Astro! Jump for it!
No, you don't.
Out of my way, Junior! Come on, Astro! What are you waiting for? Not a thing, pal. Here I come! Well, if it hadn't been for you guys, I'd be flying through 500 feet of nothing right now. Those guys really meant business.
Well, they're going bankrupt in a few minutes, Astro. As soon as their monorail stops at the next station, they'll get an escort of honor. A squad of solar guards.
Suppose they jumped the train before that.
Now, where'll they jump? Straight down? Not a chance. The whole gang is wrapped up for good.
Hey, those words are music to my ears. Jupiter, I'm glad this operation is over.
It isn't yet, Astro. Tom and I saw another one of your relatives, and he looked real mean.
What? Where?
Early this evening, when we passed the zoo.
miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, when Tom and Roger are ordered to guard a huge sum of money and find themselves blasting through space with an escort of death. Tune in, same time, same station on Tuesday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Spaceman, this is Tom Corbett. Thousands of families have been driven from their homes by the floods in the Midwest, and they need our help now. And money from you and your parents will help them in this terrible emergency. So give to the Red Cross.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in today's cast were Jan Merlin, Al Markham, Carter Blake, Joe DeSantis, and Gilbert Mack. Today's program was written by Ben Peter Freeman, directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Beck speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
And what a secret! In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins, along with delicious golden crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal all in one box. And no other raisin brand but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So for your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
This program came to you from New York. The preceding was transcribed. America is sold on ABC, the American Broadcasting.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Tonight, we escape with the pilot of an experimental jet rocket aircraft about to be hurled 40 miles out from the Earth's surface into the limitless boundaries of space, where he receives the most terrible warning in the history of man, from which there is no escape, as Graham Dorr tells it in his thrilling and widely discussed story, The Outer Limit, starring Frank Lovejoy.
Settle down, men.
Okay, Colonel. Yes, sir.
All of you will want to know why we took you out of whatever warm bed you were in. Got a reason. The RJX-1. Yeah, that's right, the RJX-1. The top secret experimental rocket jet aircraft. We've been babying it, nursing it, staying up nights with it for 16 months now. This morning, Major Westfall is going to wean it. Bill is going to take her out and beat her up to death. I can't impress upon you men how extraordinary this flight is. It's an 8-rocket ship. That's what I said, 8 rockets. 8 rockets designed to take man into areas of space that have never been explored before, and at a rate of speed to which no pilot has yet been subjected. Some of you men have already flown many times the speed of sound, so I don't have to tell you very much. Joe?
Yes, Colonel?
You'll lead the F-86s. You and the other 3 jet boys will be Bill's chase planes. We want observation at 35,000 feet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here's how it plays. Pull the curtains on the map, will you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
You see it circled here, your rendezvous point. We designated Point X. It's roughly over Boulder Dam. 0 hour is 0900. Joe, you and your jets will take off at 0 minus 15. You got that?
Yes, sir.
You F-86s will make conventional climbs to 30,000 feet. Rendezvous at Point X and call in to meet control at 35,000 feet. Right, Joe?
That cuts it, Colonel.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Not quite. Now we hear about the weather. Pete?
Yes, Colonel. Well, the weather's very pretty out, boys. All clear, ceiling unlimited. Winds aloft at 10,000, 80 mph, 25,000, 140 mph, 40,000, 150 mph. Estimated temperature, 45 below at 40,000 feet. There's some scattered clouds northwest of Point X at 15,000 feet. Stratus at 30,000 feet, 30 miles east of Point X, east. We expect no change for 3 hours. That's it, sir.
Okay, Pete. Joe, you and your boys go unwrap your F-86s. Have a nice time.
Yes, sir. Come on, boys.
Major Westfall. Major Westfall, stick around. I want to talk to you.
Okay, Hank.
How you feeling, Bill?
Why? You worried, Hank? Don't worry.
Look, Bill, you've got only 10 minutes of rocket fuel. Get rid of those jets before you fire the rockets. Fire only one
rocket at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Now, look, I'll be listening in on the public address at control. I won't bother you until you're airborne. It'll be between you and the tower until then.
All right, don't worry, Hank. I'm going to fly that baby higher and faster than anybody ever did before, just like you said. I'm going to take it up and I'm going to bring it back. And then you and I'll have dinner together.
0 minus 3. 0 minus...
Good morning, Colonel.
Mr. Hargrove. You'll be here at the control with me?
It's all right with you, Colonel.
I wouldn't have it any other way. You've checked the communications equipment, Sergeant?
Oh, yes, sir. Major Westfall's been assigned a special radio frequency of 3970.
Good. You'll take care of it, Sergeant. We don't want it to poop out or anything like that, do we?
Yes, sir. No, sir. Sir.
Hargrove, I got a thing on my mind. That boy in the plane you geniuses designed, he's my best boy.
It's our best plane, Colonel.
It better be. Now it's your turn. What do you got on your mind?
Everything's in proper order, Colonel. Recording equipment, the television cameras in the cockpit, everything. Every known scientific device, even some unknown. They've been very...
We're talking about a man, Hargrove. That's all I really want to get back out of this. What about the man?
There may be one difficulty.
Tell me about it. I'd like to know.
The takeoff, with all that load. The jets, the rockets, all at maximum fuel capacity. Never been tested that way before.
Go on, Mr. Hargrove.
Well, it's just that Major Westfall has only 6,000 feet to get his ship airborne. If he accelerates from 0 to 160 miles per hour in 6,000 feet, he should be airborne in 7 seconds.
7 seconds, that makes 0 plus G.
Yes, Colonel. Beyond 0 plus G, well, beyond that, we don't know. We just don't know.
Thanks. Thanks for everything, Mr. Hargrove. Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Flip your switch on Major Westfall. I hear he's got a swell program. Flip them all, will you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
RJX-1 to tower. Any change in weather?
Tower to RJX-1. Barometer reading 29.7. Set your altimeter accordingly.
Roger.
Wind 15 miles from south. Take off runway 27. Runway 27.
Got it.
0 minus 130. 0
RJX-1 to control. Over.
Control RJX-1. Go ahead.
This is just for you, Hank. Cabin pressure, okay. Oxygen pressure, okay.
All right. Get off the dime, kid.
Take a pill, Hank. You'll need it to settle your stomach.
0 minus 1. 0
RJX-1 to crew chief, over.
Crew chief to RJX-1. Go ahead.
I'm ready to fire.
Hold it. Okay. All set to fire.
Clear?
Clear.
Starting right, jet. Starting left, jet.
0 minus 30
Tower
seconds.
to RJX-1,
0
over.
minus 30 seconds.
RJX-1 to tower, go ahead.
Western Airlines Convair reported over Ventura.
Got it.
Eastbound Constellation at 17,000 over Salt Lake.
Roger.
Western Airlines DC-4 on Base Lake at 1,000 over Burbank. The rest of the air is yours.
Thank you so much.
0 minus 10.
RJX-1 to tower. Ready for takeoff.
Tower to RJX-1.
6.
Clear for takeoff.
5.
Good luck, Bill.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
He's rolling.
He's
rolling.
B, C, D, E,
Bill,
F,
lift it.
G,
Lift it.
H.
Lift it, Billy. He made it. Bill made it, Mr. Hargrove.
RJX-1 to control. RJX-1 to control. Come in.
Control to RJX-1. Go ahead.
Everything's great, Hank. It's a doll, baby.
Hey, you must have been kidding with that takeoff, weren't you?
It took that long to get off. That makes it a takeoff.
How fast are you climbing, kid?
1,700 a minute, airspeed 550.
Retract your landing gear. It'll help.
Whoops, sorry.
Call me at 20,000.
Heading is 87. Everything is real good. Come in, Hank.
How do you feel?
I like it here.
Pressure okay?
Okay.
F-86 leader to control. F-86 to control. Come in.
Control to F-86 leader. Go ahead.
F-86 observing RJX-1. He's really tearing, Colonel. Over point X at 35,000.
On schedule, Joe?
On schedule.
RJX-1 to control. RJX-1 to control. Come in.
Control to RJX-1. Go ahead, Bill.
40,000 feet, Hank.
Fill it down, baby.
Still is. Ready to pressurize. Can you hear me okay, Hank?
Coming in fine.
Pressurize. Ready to prime rocket system in 5 seconds. Primed. Dropping right jet. Dropping left jet. All clear.
Good luck, Bill.
Firing number 1 rocket. Fired. Oh! Taken back. Firing number 2 rocket. Fired. Hey, hey!
Okay, Bill, what is it? Bill! Bill, are you receiving me? Control to RJX-1. Come in. Come in, RJX-1. Hello, Bill. Come in. Control to F-86 leader. Control to F-86 leader. Come in.
F-86 leader to control. Go ahead.
What about it, Joe?
F-86 observing RJX-1. RJX-1 at approximately 60,000 feet, maintaining a heading of north-northwest. I can barely make him, Colonel.
Try calling.
Okay. F-86 leader to RJX-1. F-86 to RJX-1, come in. Come in, RJX-1, come in.
Mr. Hargrove.
F-86 to RJX-1.
Share it with me, Mr. Hargrove.
F-86 to
Sit here and
RJX-1,
run your fingers
come
through
in.
your hair and
Come in, RJX-1.
wait and think about it and share it with me.
F-86 to RJX-1. F-86 leader to control. F-86 leader to control, come in.
Go ahead, F-86 leader.
We've lost him, Colonel.
Stay up there, Joe, for as long as you can.
What do we do now, Colonel?
I just told you, Mr. Hargrove. We wait. You and me, we wait.
We've lost him, Colonel.
You haven't lost me. I can hear you, Joe.
Stay up there, Joe, for as long as you can.
Hello? 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 I'll try another frequency, Joe. RJX-1 to F-86. Can you make me? RJX-1 to F-86. Come in. Come in. No good, huh? I'll switch back to Channel Charlie. I still can't get you, Joe. I'll keep sending. Firing number 8 rocket. Fired. Oh, brother!
RJX-1 to all you ships at sea, to all you people anywhere. This is Bill Westfall approaching 210,000 feet. That's 40 miles straight up in the air, all you people, and that's where I am. You never saw anything like it. No clouds. A color no one ever named before. And silence. 8 rockets roaring at my tail, and I can't hear them. Their sound will never reach me at 1,800 miles an hour. Silence so complete that the ticking of the clock on my instrument panel is a hammer in my brain. Silence. Otherwise, nothing. Nothing except... No, nothing at all. Wait a minute. Yes, there is something all right at 2 o'clock high. Oh, that's really something, brother. Maybe a flying disc, and this is a big one. Spinning like a top, and it's coming toward me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Listen. Something has just happened. Something, a missile, a shot, maybe, through the canopy. My pressure is going down. Something is happening to me. This thing, it's like a magnet. I'm being pulled toward it. I've lost control of my ship. I've no control. I'm going through decompression. I'm on the verge of unconsciousness. I'm blacking out. I'm flat. Can you hear?
You are listening to The Outer Limits, starring Frank Lovejoy, in another thrilling adventure on Escape.
He had only 10 minutes fuel. He's 3 hours overdue.
Well, that's that, Colonel.
But wait some more, Mr. Hargrove.
There's no point to it. May I make a suggestion, Colonel?
What?
Give it up. Make your report to Washington.
What about you, Mr. Hargrove?
To be frank with you, Colonel, in another 16 months, there'll be another plane. The RJX-2. And the Army will give us another man to fly it.
Not till we're certain about this man, and we're not certain.
What do you propose to do?
The things that are in the manual. We'll organize search parties and put spotter planes up in the air. Maybe Bill came down on the ocean. We'll call the Navy in.
Colonel, if the RJX-1 came down on the ocean, it would sink in 3 minutes. You know it had no life preserver equipment on it. The added weight of the...
We'll call the Navy in.
Whatever you say, Colonel. My guess is...
What's your guess, Mr. Hargrove?
My guess is that sometime, somewhere, on some beach or in some field, someone will pick up a piece of torn metal. That someone will be holding what's left of the RJX-1.
Can you understand me? But there is no manifestation that we're in communication with him, sir. Yes, sir. I am Zeglan. You're aboard the Space Patrol ship S2J3. Am I in communication with you? Can you understand me? Are we in contact? Can you understand now what I am saying to you?
Yes. Yes, I can understand you.
Earthman, your brain is in turmoil, is it not? It has great difficulty in accepting what you see.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Accept it. What you see here exists.
All this? This exists?
It exists, Earthman. The spaceship you're on exists. Those jet dynamos you see before you exist. Jet dynamos driven by the harnessed power of 1,000 suns. Listen, Earthman. Listen to them. Do you know what happened as you listened, Earthman? We have flung ourselves 10,000 miles into space. What do you say to that, Earthman?
Why, I don't know what to say.
It's beyond the conception of your Earth brain. Then conceive this. Try to move, Earthman. You're not bound in any way. Try to move. No strain. It's impossible for you to move. There's a screen of force aimed at you. Now it's turned off. You may move about, Earthman. Proceed, Zeglon.
Yes, Commander. Earthman, I perceive that your intellect now accepts the fact. You are aboard Space Patrol Ship S2J3. I am Captain Zeglon of the Galactic Guard.
Galactic? Galactic Guard?
The Guardian of the Galaxy. The Guardian of the Universes. The instrument the Brotherhood of Worlds has set up in defense against such a civilization as yours. What puzzles you, Earthman?
Well, I can't see you. I can feel that you're here, but I can't see you.
There is no necessity for you to see us. It is sufficient that we communicate with each other.
Yes, but talking to you is... Well, it's not like talking. It's as if it were all happening inside my brain.
It is. That is how I'm reaching you, by telepathy. Do you remember what happened to you before you blacked out?
Yes, I think so. There was a sharp sound, like a bullet hitting the canopy.
It was not a bullet. It was a ray. It was necessary to stop your flight. We have so much to tell you.
Well, first tell me about my ship. Is it lost?
No. It is such a crude little ship.
Crude?
Easy for us to repair. It will be returned to you. And you will return to Earth. Because you are the Earth's only hope of survival.
Hope of survival? What do you mean?
I will show you. What you see on this screen before you is a panorama of your own universe, far greater in scope than an Earthman has ever seen before. Observe. Observe where the line is pointing. Planet 3, Star 5, Galaxy C, Sector K.
Is that the Earth?
No. That dot, that speck you see revolving in the vastness, is your sun. A star whose surface is 12,000 times that of your Earth. Your Earth is not even visible here.
What? How did you know we even existed?
That was our problem. We first became aware of your planet when we found atomic dust in the upper atmosphere. We traced it to your Earth.
It was that important to you?
Quite. We determined that you were setting off atomic bombs. That's why the Galactic Council has quarantined you.
Quarantined? I don't understand. How? How are we quarantined?
We have sealed off your planet from the rest of space.
But
we have surrounded it with a force screen. When that screen has accumulated enough particles of atomic dust, your Earth will explode. Your civilization, you, all life will disappear forever.
Listen to me, Earthman. Listen. We've had our own wars. Wars that almost destroyed our civilization. But we have finally outlawed war throughout space, including Earth. Now listen carefully, Earthman. If you continue to make atom bombs and hydrogen bombs, each many times more powerful than the last, and if you start making war with them, exploding them, it would upset the balance of the entire universe, throw all space into chaos. This, of course, we cannot allow. And the force screen with which we have surrounded the Earth will prevent it by exploding the Earth itself. Remember then, Earthman, if you start an atomic war, the Earth will at once be completely destroyed. Warn them, Earthman. Release him, Zeglon.
Yes, Commander. Earthman, you will rise from your seat and open that door. Descend those stairs, Earthman. You will now enter the chamber to your left. There's your ship. Get into it, Earthman. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
While we were communicating, the patrol ship has returned to where we picked you up. And now you will be propelled toward Earth. Close your canopy. Open aperture.
Warn them, Earthman. Warn them.
Fire!
RJX-1 to tower. RJX-1 to tower. Come in. RJX-1 to tower. Come in, tower.
Tower to funny man. You loaded, kid? How did you get in on this frequency?
Listen, this is RJX-1. RJX-1 coming in for landing. Give me landing instructions.
Tower to funny man. Impossible that you're RJX-1. He's 10 hours overdue. Get away from the area. Area cleared for bomber practice approaches.
This is Major Westfall and RJX-1. Come on, kid, give me landing instructions. I have no fuel. I'm gliding.
What? Hey, yeah, I see you now, Major. Wait a minute. I'll restrict the area. Okay, RJX-1. Go ahead.
Approximately 6 miles north of field. Clear area for 10 miles.
Being cleared. What's your altitude?
10,000. Estimate 6 minutes to land.
Tower to RJX-1. You are cleared to land. Runway 9. Wind east-southeast 15.
Roger. Coming down. Hi, Hank.
Bill, what happened?
Hank, you won't believe it, but you've got to. I know you won't believe it. It'll knock you over.
Just take it easy, Bill.
Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Have the ship gone over by Geiger counters for radioactivity and seal it.
What?
Oh, yes, Hank, you better mount a 24-hour guard on it.
Look, what did you run into?
Plenty. Listen to me, Hank. They said the Earth would explode. They said it was the end for us.
They said that? Come on, let's go over to my office.
You gotta believe me.
Read it like an order, Bill. My office. I want Major Donaldson to look at you.
The psychiatrist? Hank, you've got to listen to
Come on
me.
over to the office.
Well, that's the story, Major Donaldson.
I see.
Well, Hank, you believe it, don't you?
Well, Major, what do you think?
I'm not sure. Bill, these men from Mars.
I didn't say they were from Mars. Did you hear me say anything about men from Mars?
No, you didn't.
All I'm trying to tell you is this. Whoever those people were, they knew all about us, everything. And they warned me. Our atomic bombs are a danger to the universe. One more, and we're going to be the juiciest galactic 4th of July of all time. Explode, finish, gone. Like that. How do you like it?
All right, Bill, roll up your sleeve.
Oh, no, forget it, Major. All I need is a couple of drinks.
Sorry, Bill. Sorry. Not right now. Let the Major give you a hypo.
Now, look, I got a drink coming, a lot of drinks.
Later.
Come on, Bill, the sleeve.
You heard him, Bill.
All right, yes, all right, if it's an order. Go ahead.
There. You'll be okay in a few hours.
I'm okay now.
Sure. We'll leave you here, Bill. It's all right if Bill sleeps in here, isn't it, Colonel?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll believe me tomorrow. You'd better.
Come on, Major. He'll be okay by himself, Major?
He's been under a strain, but he'll sleep a long time. You better explain it to his wife somehow. I'll talk to him tomorrow. Tough. I've heard he's one of the best.
He's the best. A combination of nerve and loyalty and lightning reflexes that comes once in 10 million times. What about it, Major? How does Bill look to you?
I can't tell yet. Maybe a week, 6 months, 6 years. I'll need a whole lot of time with him before I can tell.
I see. Well, we'd better get some sleep, too.
Right. And don't worry, Colonel. He's a strong boy. Best nerves I've seen. I'd say things will be all right. Delusions like Bill's latched onto... Well, delusions like this...
Major.
Yes, Colonel?
Major, when you make your charts for Bill, diagnose him and treat him and do all the things you have to, when you do that, Major, consider this.
Yes?
How did he keep that plane in the air for 10 hours? For 10 hours, Major, when he had fuel to last him only 10 minutes.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and tonight starred Frank Lovejoy in The Outer Limit by Graham Dorr, adapted for radio by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. Featured in the cast were Charles McGraw as the Colonel, Jeff Corey as Major Donaldson, Stan Waxman as Zeglon, and Ian Wolfe as Zill. Special music was arranged and conducted by Del Castillo. Actual flight details were authenticated by rocket test pilot Gene May, Sergeant Hartley Caldwell of the Air Force Section of the Armed Forces Public Information Office, and by the Douglas Aircraft Corporation. Next week.
You were on the Baltic Sea within sight of the Soviet coast, where your Russian wife is secretly waiting to escape with you to England. And on the cold, dark waters behind you, an armed patrol boat is about to discover your small sailing craft. If it does, you will never escape.
Next week, we escape with Roger Bax's thrilling and timely tale of a man and woman who dared to defy an entire government in order to be together. 2 if by sea. Goodbye, then, until this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. 2 all-star bouts are promised on CBS this Wednesday night. Bing Crosby faces Fred Allen across the CBS mic to battle it out on who's funnier, singers or comedians. And in the second attraction, Gracie Allen and the Smashed Fender team up against not-so-gorgeous George Burns and a Guilty Conscience. This Wednesday also brings you Groucho Marx, his ad-libs on You Bet Your Life, and a Dr. Christian story about 2 redheads in love. Fun, action, variety. They're all yours with Dr. Christian, Groucho Marx, Bing Crosby and Fred Allen, and George and Gracie on most of these same CBS stations Wednesday night. Now stay tuned for The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS network stations. This is CBS, where you bet your life with Groucho Marx every Wednesday, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The American Broadcasting Company Radio Network presents Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventures, Buzz and Happy are on the planet Tarjeta, pursued by a band of Stardew's agents.
We're gaining on us, sir. We're almost to the top of the ridge. Then it'll be downhill to the ship. Lucky for us, we don't have any weapons now. Stardew probably gave them orders to take us alive. From what we know of him, that isn't going to be the ship. If we can keep this lead, we'll be safe. Hey, they have done it. Here's the top of the ridge. Now a final spurt to the ship. Smoke and rockets, Commander, look! Our ship is gone.
We'll be back in a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol story, Planet of Discord. Medical science has conquered many frightening diseases in the past. Now scientists believe they may soon have control of the infantile paralysis. A trial polio vaccine has been developed and given to hundreds of people with no ill effects. To prove its effectiveness against paralysis, mass field tests will soon begin. Your generous contributions to March of Dimes have brought the hope of final victory this near its goal. But many, many extra millions of dollars are needed to launch this crucial, what is hoped to be the final assault on polio. Your help now, with extra dimes and dollars, is the only hope for victory. Join the 1955 March of Dimes. Give extra. Give more than ever before. Send your dimes and dollars to your local March of Dimes headquarters. Now today's Space Patrol adventure, Planet of Discord. Agents from the planet Tarjeta are in the solar system searching for a jeweled crown that was hidden on the planet Earth centuries ago. Because of the secret and violent methods of the agents, Commander Corey has blocked all attempts to recover the crown, hoping to force all parties to the intrigue out into the open. Now, in Commander Corey's central office, Terra headquarters, Buzz places a report in a folder and hands it to Cadet Happy.
When you leave, have drop this off. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, how's that Cadet?
Good.
Is that the boss, Sergeant? group called the League of the Green Serpent. Our families also afraid of us. I can't convince them that we don't torture or eliminate criminals, or even spies who never say this. He told us the true names of other savvy agents with him. He doesn't know anything about the other captain, except that their agents are also left to follow by Judah. You know, I've been thinking, both sides of this thing either down and rather have the town stay lost than have the other side recover. Yeah. One thing is, I'll never get the town until it's fixed fire and it's probably 7.5 days or so. Hey, I'm going to get back here about 1,300 hours and get it done. Don't forget this folder, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, you want me to get a receipt from the distribution? No, it's not classified right now. Going to the feature editor of the United Planets News Service. We wanted some data for a special article. Hey, Commander, I'll be going right past the news service office. I could deliver it myself instead of checking. All right, thanks a lot. It's okay, Commander. I'll see you 1,400. After a hearty lunch, face-to-face promises, Cadet Happy strolled through the Toilet City Park on his way to the new service station. As Happy walked along, he tosses small pieces of bread to the ever-hungry pigeons that flock around him. Hey, Popso, give that little guy a chair. Here, Corey, this is for you. You want more, huh? I was just talking to the pigeons. Yes, I see there. Everybody else in the park seems to be on a special rush. I was wondering if you'd do me a favor. Do you know anything about these microfilm cameras? I want to take a picture of the top or whatever. The film I was thinking how to reload. Oh, that's easy. You got a new roll of film? Okay. Now, all you do is slide the cartridge into the little round hole in that film, then you press this lever that will move the protection screen and start the film through the cartridge. Yes, I know. It's a rivet camera and I didn't want to tamper with it. Open the camera way behind. Maybe we better get out of the straight camera. My surface car is right over there. But it's too dark enough inside. Oh, yeah, you could make sort of a tent out of your jacket and we're in business. Come on. It's certainly nice of you to go to all this trouble. I like to fool around with cameras anyway. It's probably dark there. Yeah. Oh, this will be fine, man. I think I can shield you in this top. Great idea. I'm still lucky you found out. First, we'll pick up the wheel of the first time. Oh, I see what the trouble is. Yeah, before I spread my new film, I'll take a look. Oh, that's what happens when I press this lever. Now watching. Now you'll be nice and comfortable and invisible. All right, Cadet. Inside. Go over there and sit down. Who are you? We'll find that out later. Now sit down. That's it. You got it. Those were Shardy's orders. Any trouble? Anyone see him? No. Well, I lured him into the car and slugged him. Now he's partially under sex control. We'll do anything I can. We'll take that uniform off him and get him into civilian clothes. Rod, are you all ready to leave? Don't time me. I didn't pack that space plane. I thought you might want to contact Charlie. We'll do that after we blast off without you then. All right. I'll put the space plane in the safe. Say that to the last. Just make sure we haven't left any evidence in the other room. It's cleaned out, boy. If there's a slip-up, Charlie will hold me responsible. What about the cadet? He's still driving on the top of the hood. And he's parking under sight power. He won't leave from the phone. No. Just the same, I won't feel easy till we turn him over to Charlie on my feet. calling Commander Corey.
Commander Corey here. Go ahead, then.
Come on, I'm in trouble. I'm going to get him out. I stumbled into a trap, sir. Here, one of these agents have got out. They're taking me to Sargita.
Where are you now?
I spoke to the country when we got here. I think I'm out of sight from here. We don't have to cross the line.
What?
I'm trying to be wrong and wrong. So they put me in civilian clothes and take me to the hospital. I knew where the time was going. They're coming back, so I have to get out.
Back to space. Yeah. Cadet, take off that uniform and get into these clothes. Come on, get up. Okay. What about those papers the cadet was carrying? First general information, nothing secret. Still, it might be helpful to start here. We'll take him around. Well, Cadet? Yeah? I suppose you're expecting to be rescued any minute now. What do you mean? You know what's bad, Corey. That isn't going to stop us. We've got a spaceship ready at the spaceport. It's an emergency, Cadet. Standing by for 2 doctors and an assistant. We'll rush some vaccine to Saturn City Hospital. That's us. We're going to a lot of trouble for nothing. I don't know where that clown is, and if that phony would-be Emperor Stardew thinks that there are any defense secrets from me, he's trading. You know why? Because I don't know any big secrets. And that, gentlemen, is just one of the advantages of being a cadet. Oh, all right, Cadet. You don't think we put any value on anything like $6 yours, do you? Oh, now, wait just a minute. Corey, we won't. You did just what we wanted you to do. No, Corey, you're being taken to my Vita. Huh? Oh, rock. You've done something our best agents couldn't do, Cadet. You've led Commander Corey right into Chardou's clutches. Acting quickly after receiving the spacephone message from Happy, Commander Corey alerted the spaceport and then blasted off in the Terra 5 in order to be spaceborne in the event Chardou's agents evaded the guard. Circling within the viewscope in the Terra City spaceport was monitoring the space patrol frequencies and those used by Gogeta agents. As he speaks to the Terra Space Control operator, the answers come back in code to prevent interception by Chardou's spies. If you're sure every ship has been checked, then Happy must still be on Terra. I'll remain spaceborne. Something's coming on one of Gogeta's frequencies. I'll call you back. Hurry up.
Okay, Mr. Gardner. The plan works. Our emergency ship passed through the Terra space rocket. Cadet is aboard. Proceed at once to start speaking.
Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 calling Space Control Terra. I'm setting a hyperspace vector for Gogeta. I'll try to contact you when I come out of Star Drive. Corey out. Little luck. Maybe you'll be able to take that ship before it reaches Gogeta.
I can help you, Commander.
What?
Don't make a move until I tell you. I don't want to use this gun.
How'd you get aboard?
The mechanics cover all help. Nothing is suspension of a guard by Sapphire.
And you're one of Chardou's men.
No, Commander. I am Purple, the sworn enemy of Chardou. I am of the Legion of the Green Serpent.
In that case, you'll help me rescue Happy from Chardou's agents.
Certainly. The cadet was abducted nearly 50 years into Chardou's trap on Gogeta. I am here to prevent that.
In that case, you can put away the gun.
You don't understand, Commander. My method of keeping you out of Chardou's hand is to destroy you both.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Boys and girls, here's a little thought. How long does it take to cross the street? 5 seconds? 10 seconds? Well, that may be the right answer if you're careful to cross its corner and wait for the traffic light. But if you cross in the middle of the block, it may take weeks to get to the other side. Yes, weeks. Weeks spent in the hospital or in bed at home with the broken bones and bruises that come from being in an automobile accident. Don't forget, the motorist doesn't expect to find anyone in the middle of the block. He may not be able to stop in time. That's why it may take weeks from the moment you start across the street until you finally reach the other side. The seconds you might save isn't worth those weeks you might lose, so be careful. Cross with the light and only at corners. Remember, the life you save may be your own. Now, back to today's Space Patrol adventure, Planet of Discord.
Two of Chardou's agents have captured Cadet Happy and are taking him to the planet Darjita. Their real goal is to lure Commander Corey into a trap. With carefully contrived carelessness, they have permitted Buzz to learn their destination, knowing that he would follow them to rescue Happy. As the commander was about to put the Terra 5 in the star drive for the trip to Darjita, a stranger stepped into the control compartment and held Buzz at gunpoint. He revealed himself as Cleto, a member of a faction that opposes Chardou's attempt to become Emperor of Darjita. Cleto has vowed to destroy Buzz and Happy.
Happy and I aren't involved in your affairs in Darjita. What good will it do to get rid of us?
Chardou's agent has gone to great pains to let it be known that Chardou abducted Cadet Happy. If neither of you return, your government will hold Chardou responsible.
You expect the United Planets to help your gang into power, perhaps even use force to put down this Chardou and his followers.
Well, why not? You have had no trouble with our league, only with Chardou's agents.
Just who is the rightful government of Darjita? Who's in power now?
The League of the Green Serpent has been in control for several years. Then this upstart Chardou started his rebel-rousing campaign to restore the Empire.
That's what I hear, Cleto. Your gang wants the crown, too.
Yes. To a large part of our population, the crown is a symbol. There is a legend to the effect that the crown gives the person who wears it infinite wisdom and the power to rule with justice and mercy. When we get to Darjita, we will force you to tell me where the crown is. And with the weapons aboard the ship, the League can conquer Chardou. And then, Commander, you will be eliminated.
But Cadet Happy, you can at least save him.
Everything. Set a vector for Darjita. Do you know where it is?
Its orbit circles the star near Antares, right?
Yes. Lokina. Do as I say and ask no questions. Remember, your mind is no longer entirely your own. As we have talked, energy from my mind has steadily overpowered you. The side force, you know.
Yes. The vector for Darjita is set up.
All right, Corey. Put into start drive, and don't try anything. How long does this last?
Until they come out of hyperspace. Isn't this the way your Darjita interstellar drive works?
Yes, something like it. But not quite. It feels rather strange.
It does?
But I am not blacking out, if that's what you're hoping. Just remember, between the sight force and the gun, I am master here, mentally and physically.
We're coming out of star drive now.
For your own good, Corey, I hope you didn't make any mistakes computing the vector.
Well, there's a star glaring through the starboard viewport. Recognize it?
It looks like Lokina, all right.
The greenish Class B star. It's about 40 million DUs away.
It's Lokina. And look in the viewscope. There is Darjita.
You sure?
Don't you think I know my own home planet when I see it?
There's something else in the viewscope, too. A spaceship.
We'll go after it. It's probably Chardou's agents with the Cadet.
If we can see them, they can probably see us.
Well, what of it? They're expecting you. But don't get too close. Let's see if we can figure out what they're up to.
Agent Bourvain calling Chardou. Agent Bourvain calling Chardou.
Scott, may report for me.
We have emerged from Star Drive and are now approaching Darjita.
Excellent. Has Corey followed you?
I assume so.
Here are your orders for me. There is a work camp in the Cadet Mountains constructing power relay towers. Those men are all loyal to me. Stand there and remain until you hear from me.
Very well, Chardou.
And guard the Cadet carefully. As long as we have him, we get Fort Courage to help us locate the ground to operate the weapons in the ship. Are your instructions clear?
Yes, Shardu. I will obey them to the letter. Corbett out.
The ship's landing, but it's setting down hundreds of miles from the city.
They can pick up their spacephone signals. Plato, do you know what frequency they'd be using?
No.
Maybe that's not Bourdain's ship.
Yes, it is. I recognize it as the one I saw at the Terror Spaceport.
Can't figure this out. Bourdain did everything he could to let me know he was taking Happy to dodge Judah. Didn't you think they'd keep feeding me clues or lead me into Shardu's trap?
It is strange. Perhaps Shardu has changed his plan. It could be that Happy is of more use personally than Shardu originally thought. That must be it. The cadet is no longer bait to trap you. He is important in himself.
But let's get him away from Bourdain. That looks like a wild, uninhabited region. We wouldn't have many against us.
No, Curry. Whatever secrets the cadet knows, he will never reveal to Shardu. You are going to blast that ship with your atom cannon.
Crazy, Tony.
You will do as I say. A fast, slow approach will take them completely by surprise. You heard me, Curry. You can't resist the sight pulse, so don't try it.
It'll have to be a fast approach.
I know. You are completely under my control now, Curry. Prepare your weapons and increase velocity.
Anything you say, Plato. How's this? Is this fast enough?
There is too much acceleration. I am blacking out.
Just in case you don't, maybe this will help.
In a crude work shack in the mountains of Darjeeta, Cadet Happy quietly tests the strength of the ropes that hold him securely to a chair. Across the room, Bourdain stares anxiously at the spaceophone receiver.
I should have heard from Shardu by now. Corey must be near Darjeeta. Why don't you call Shardu and find out? Because my orders are to wait.
Something may have happened. You never can tell, Bourdain. Maybe the League of the Green Serpent is up to something.
You shut up. I know what you're up to. You're trying to get me worried, so I'll make a spaceophone call. And maybe your pal Corey will pick up the signal.
Okay. Sit there and chew your nails.
Jardo knows what he's doing. And there's no use of your trying to loosen those ropes, Cadet. Even if you get out of this shack, there are 40 men in this construction unit that'll hunt you down.
Oh, I'm not trying to get loose. I like it here.
Yes, I'll bet you do. But just remember, there's nothing around here but mountains and dry brush. Even if you did escape, there's nothing to eat. You'd starve or die of exposure.
Warning. Come on.
Rod, what's the matter?
There's a fire down in the supply dump. The wind's carrying it right toward the camp. Let's go.
It's not our job. We don't belong to this crew.
The chief wants every able-bodied man down there in a hurry. There's explosives in the supply dump. The fire gets much closer to...
all right. How about the cadet? We can put him to work, too.
No, it's too much trouble to keep an eye on him. Leave him tied up. Come on.
All right.
Rope a little bit more. Commander!
You alone here?
Yes, sir. Bourdain and Rob, they rushed out to fight a fire.
I'll take it easy. I had to cut loose and stuff.
How did you land without anybody seeing you?
Came in low on the other side of the ridge.
I'm sure lucky that fire broke out, or you never could have gotten into camp.
I know. I started it. Okay, let's go. Keep your head down, Hap. The farther we get from that camp without their seeing us, the better.
They're all too busy fighting that fire.
Come back there! Bourdain sees us.
And he's got a gang with him.
Hurry, Hap.
Oh, they're closer than I thought.
We'll make it to the top of the ridge. We'll be in the clear.
Get them out! Don't let us get away!
Hap, there are 4 men closing in on our right.
They're gaining on us, sir.
We're almost at the top of the ridge. Then it'll be downhill to the ship.
It's lucky for us they don't have any weapons.
Shardu probably gave them orders to take us alive.
From what we know of him, that isn't going to be any picnic.
If we can keep this lead, we'll be safe.
Wow, they have got weapons.
There's the top of the ridge. Now, final spurt to the ship.
Smoking rockets, Commander, look. Our ship is gone.
Riddle. Must have broken out of the compartment and blasted off.
Now what are we going to do?
Keep running. It's downhill for us, and they're still climbing.
Even if we get away from that mob, then what?
We'll worry about that later. Hap.
Yes, sir?
What's down there? The ship vanished. The shadow is still there.
The shadow left behind. That was sure enough to blast it off in a hurry.
It didn't blast off. The ship is still there. Just can't see it. Somebody's using his transport service. Hey, run for the shadow.
There they are! After them!
They're at the top of the ridge.
Stop before they reach the ship!
Hear that, sir? They see the ship.
Hurry, Hap. When you're there, Happy.
I still can't believe that the ship is there.
It has to be, or there wouldn't be a shadow.
Come on, men!
How can we find the airlock of an invisible ship?
Reach out. Touch the hull.
Hey, I can see it. It's real.
Up the ladder, into the ship, quickly. Close the hatch. I'll blast off. Okay, Hap. Stand by for blast off.
Standing by, sir.
Close port.
Close port.
Fire jet.
Fire jet.
Up, skipping away.
We made it.
We're still in Charging's domain. We can expect more trouble.
Now that I'm back in the pair of tires, I'm not worried. Why was it we couldn't see the ship until we touched it?
Whoever was working that sight course on us must have been concentrating on our sense of sight. Our sense of touch broke, really.
Oh. Well, I'd better check the juice bolts for the ship.
Bring Pedo up here, Happy. We may need him. He's locked his compartment door.
Okay. There he is, sir. He acts kind of groggy, but I'll keep him covered.
Right, Happy. Well, Pedo, was that invisibility trick some of your work?
Yes. It really took all my strength.
What was the idea?
I figured if nobody could find the ship, I'd have a chance to break out of this compartment. I was concentrating on every detail of the Tether-5 and projecting the idea that it couldn't exist. If you don't think that stuff works, try it sometime.
You did a good job of it, Pedo. Except for one thing.
What was that?
You forgot the shadow.
Nadu of Nigeria calling Commander Corey aboard the Terra 5.
Keep an eye on Pedo, Hap. See what Charlie's up to.
Nadu of Nigeria calling Commander Corey. I have an apology to make and some good news for you.
Commander Corey to Shardu. Go ahead.
Greetings, Commander. By the strength of your security must be very close to our planet, Nigeria.
You mentioned some news, Shardu.
Yes, but first, my sincere apologies for affecting you that happy. My stupid agents acted without my knowledge, and they are being punished. You advise your ship in the space port of Temple City. Happy will be returned to you safe and sound.
Fine. If you've got Happy there, may I speak to him?
Well, Commander, I gave him a hearty dinner and he asked to sleep in my own private quarters.
Oh, I see. And you'll have him at the spaceport.
Oh, of course. I'll wake him up very shortly. What was that?
It's me, Shardu. Get Happy. I guess I talk in my sleep.
You picked me.
We'd like to say goodbye, Shardu, but if you still want trouble, we'll be seeing you. A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Here's an important announcement for all college men. If you qualify as an aviation cadet, you can become a commissioned officer in the United States Air Force with earnings of more than $5,000 a year. As an aviation cadet, you'll get the most thorough training in the world in the new field of jet aviation. You'll be flying jets yourself within 18 months, flying easily and safely. You'll be a skilled jet pilot with a new world of aviation before you. If you're between the ages of 19 and 26 and a half, single and have 2 years of college, you can qualify for this training and for a wonderful jet future. Visit your nearest United States Air Force base or recruiting station and talk it over. Now a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are on the planet Saturn, searching for agents from Darjeeling. Investigating an apparently deserted scrap metal yard, Happy glances up at a crane control tower.
The tower looks empty, Commander.
And the men we're after must be in the buildings at the other end of the yard. Come on.
Uh-oh. What's that?
The crane. Someone started the electromagnetic train.
Commander, look. It's swinging right over our heads. The magnet with scrap metal hanging from it.
Somebody is in that power hat. If they cut the current, that metal will fall and crush it. Be with us next week for the thrilling Space Patrol story, The Conquest of Darjida. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Torrey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Ken Mayer, Bela Kovac, and Norman Jolly. Dick Wesson speaking. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.